Oklahoma Sooners, and out of the SEC, the Arkansas Razorbacks. And a Happy New Year to you and yours. Alongside Tim Green and Dave Lapham, I'm Tom Brenneman. Welcome to the SBC Cotton Bowl here on Fox. And Dave, clearly the Oklahoma Sooners were hoping to defend their national championship, but then they were stunned their final game of the regular season by rival Oklahoma State. And a big reason why they're not defending their title: an inconsistent offense.
You're right, Tommy. The question is, will Nate Hibble bounce back? Oklahoma State's defensive pressure packages got to him, and he got out of his game. He threw 3 interceptions. He was sacked 7 times. Oklahoma has to protect him, let him reestablish his confidence. Defensively, Oklahoma has award winners at linebacker and in the secondary. Rocky Kalmus has his master's degree in football geometry, takes the perfect angle of pursuit every football play. With his speed and quickness, he gets there in an angry state of mind. In the secondary, Roy Williams has tremendous football IQ, complete football player. You'll see him in the secondary covering people. His 5 interceptions lead the team. Then you'll also see him near or at the line of scrimmage, stopping the run, blitzing the quarterback. I'll tell you, sometimes it looks like there's more than 138 out there. He's all over the field.
We'll be calling his name throughout the entire morning and early afternoon here today. As far as Arkansas is concerned, Tim, you get the feeling they're thrilled to be here. They started the season at 1-3, reeled off 6 straight wins before losing the finale to LSU, and offensively they do it in a rather unorthodox style.
It's unorthodox because they have 2 quarterbacks and they use them in 2 different situations, but they've done it with success. Now, when they want to throw the ball, they're going to have Zach Clark out there. He's their drop back passer, and he's a leader on the field. He's a coach in the backfield. When they want to run the ball, here's the guy they put in, Matt Jones. He's only a freshman, but he's 6'6". He looks like a beanpole out there, but he's fast. He's one of the fastest players on the field. This kid is a playmaker, and he can also throw on the run. So I think if Arkansas is going to be successful today, you're going to see a lot of Matt Jones because they want to run the ball against this Oklahoma defense. Now, when you get into a bowl game, neither team has played in a month, and so a lot of times it comes down to emotion. I think Arkansas may have a little bit of an emotional edge the way they did 2 years ago in this Cotton Bowl when they defeated and upset Texas. Now, to upset last year's national champion Oklahoma, Arkansas is going to have to turn that emotion into plays, big runs, big passes, and turnovers to beat last year's champs.
You want emotion, baby? We got emotion in the morning on New Year's Day. Let's listen in to Houston Nutt in the Arkansas locker room.
And it all does that right there. And I'm going to tell you something. This team right here can move a mountain. Let's go. Hey, special teams, you set the tempo. Hey, backs, receivers, protect the most precious thing you got. You protect the football. Defense, knock it loose. Knock it loose all day long. I want some people having some fun with great energy and spirit. Let me see it, man. Here we go. Come on, baby. Let's go. 60 minutes.
Happy New Year, everybody. We welcome you to 2002, the first college bowl game to kick off in this new year. No score here in the opening quarter, 11:15 to go, and Arkansas gets the ball for the second time. They begin at the 21. They pitch it to Brandon Holmes, and he carries a tackler with him all across the 25. Corey Heineke, the senior, on the tackle, a gain of 5.
Well, the key to Oklahoma's defense begins with Tommy Harris, the nose guard. And so what Arkansas wants to do, watch him jump on this play. Watch him. They want to give him a mixed snap count, and that gets him off of his feet, and then he ends up on the ground. So that's a nice job by Arkansas strategizing. He was
offside.
Yeah, but they strategize to get him jumping, get him off balance. Because when he gets to take off from his stance, he is dangerous.
I think they declined the penalty, or they're taking the penalty. He was offsides. He was in the neutral zone, so it's 1st and 5. He was just a little bit early and encroached, but he has got tremendous get-offs. He's going to watch that football and don't move till the ball moves. Don't listen to the quarterback.
And I know you guys feel like Tommy Harris is as impressive a freshman as there has been in the last 25 years in college football.
I'll tell you what, the best freshman offensive lineman is right there, Sean Andrews, and he's the best defensive freshman.
Holmes off the right side, slammed to the turf at the 27-yard line. Again, Heineke on the stop for Oklahoma.
Arkansas wanted to use Holmes because he's a big, straight-ahead runner. And you can't take things to the sideline against Oklahoma because they, among all other things, they have tremendous defensive speed.
Right, you don't want to go east and west on them. And Holmes is a guy, if he keeps his shoulder pads square to the line of scrimmage, he's going to do some damage. Don't get his shoulder pads turned to the sideline. That's where he's ineffective.
Holmes actually goes third on the depth chart at tailback for Arkansas. They'll try and throw it. And taken down immediately is Zach Clark.
Had to be an assignment error up front there. Protection unsound.
Dusty Dvoracek on the sack.
And what you have going here, slide, look, no block, nobody blocks him. Center slides, right guard doesn't. You better get that sack because you have an assignment error up front. Miscommunication of the protection call, and he comes in untouched and puts the heat on Clark and takes him to the turf.
And now Zach Clark is in a known passing situation. And this is where it's dangerous against Oklahoma because they will blitz you now.
Showing blitz at the line of scrimmage. Lehman moving around, and now he'll drop back into coverage. Good protection for Clark, and it sails long and intercepted at the 35-yard line by Matt McCoy. That would look like it just slipped out of the hand, or just sailed out of the hand of Clark.
This was a poor decision by Zach Clark, but really it's almost as good as a punt. But the problem is, if you see Wilson right here, watch him on the crossing route. They showed blitz and then bail out of it. Well, look at Wilson right there. Look at the space that he has. And if Zach Clark sees that, Wilson has a first down and more.
And Tim, the guy at home says, how in the world doesn't he see it?
I think the pressure in his face is a factor. He's got to be more patient, though. I think he set his clock too quickly against Oklahoma. He knows he has to get rid of the ball quickly. Decided to go downfield, never adjusted.
Hibble out of the shotgun, and they hand it off to Antoine Savage, and that didn't fool the Arkansas defense. Savage maybe got 2 yards, and Carlos Hall stayed home to trip him up.
And you know, one more follow-up on that. When you have both defenses like this that blitz so much, what it does to a quarterback is you have a clock in your head. And if they can hasten that clock and make him throw the football before he really wants to, that's a mark in the favor of the defense, because turnovers happen because of pressure and making the quarterback throw the ball before he wants to.
Called a gain of 3, 2nd and 7. Hibble fires to the tight end Trent Smith, and he is tackled after a gain of maybe 3. It'll bring up 3rd down for Oklahoma. Eddie Jackson on the coverage and the tackle.
That was a nice play by Eddie Jackson because they know that Trent Smith is going to get the ball a lot. He's a big tight end, and here he is, and he's out here playing like a receiver. So Eddie Jackson's a cornerback, and look what he does. After Smith makes the catch, 0 yards after the catch. Excellent tackling.
Smith set the OU single-season record with those 61 receptions, breaking the prior mark held by Eddie Hinton. And now Hibble still looking around. And was it caught? Yes, the reception is good to Quentin Griffin, and they'll move the chains. Oklahoma 1st down.
He's the 2nd leading receiver on this football team with 55 catches coming into this game.
How about the pass protection here by Oklahoma's offensive line? You're going to see the stunt up front. There comes the safety, but he has all day. So Hibble goes to his check down, and as you said, Dave, Quentin Griffin is better than a check down because he can pick up yards after that catch.
He's like a receiver out of the backfield. He runs great routes as well as catching.
Come out of the I formation, and now Griffin will get the carry, and he takes it down to the 41. Hamlin comes up from his free safety spot to make the tackle.
Johnny Thompson, the defensive coordinator for Arkansas, said we have to take Griffin out of the offense first and foremost. Leading rusher on the team, 2nd leading receiver with 55 catches. A very, very complete football player.
Boy, he is strong and fast. Squats 465 pounds and runs a 4.340.
And look, he's only 5'7", but he's 190 pounds. I mean, if he were 6'2", he'd weigh about 240.
I like the bowling ball coming through there.
Shot put with legs, man.
He's going to get it again, looking to cut back against the grain.
We're done.
And Boer there to make a tackle close to a 1st down. They needed to get to about the 36.5.
What you have going on with Quentin Griffin is a guy that's got 11 touchdowns on the season. He's rushed for 9, and he caught 2 other touchdown passes. So he is a running back that poses himself as a threat, a two-way player. And on that particular run by Quentin Griffin, that was the first time all season long Oklahoma ran a 2 tight end formation. Chuck Long with another adjustment.
Flags litter the field on a 3rd and 1 for the Sooners. Arkansas saying that Oklahoma started early.
Oklahoma.
He's saying false start. I'll read his lips.
Yeah.
Offense. Penalty. How about that?
3rd and 1.
We don't need the ref, Mike. I'll just read his lips from up here.
3rd and 1 becomes 3rd and 6 because there's early movement right there by Sims at the right tackle position. He breaks his 3-point stance before the snap of the football and lurches forward. Can't do that. Can't fake the start of a play before the ball is snapped.
Sims has been out quite a bit because of an injury, right?
Yeah, missed the last 2 games of the season after starting the first 5 at left tackle. Then they moved him to right tackle. Wide open is Smith, and he's got it for an Oklahoma first down at the 25. He hung on and took a hit.
That's pure talent right there to catch that football.
He is a size, speed, mismatch problem.
Yeah, but watch this here. He's just going to run straight down the seam here, and he's going to be covered, and the ball is not thrown well. It's thrown behind him. Watch him twist around. He has to take a big shot, and he hangs on to it.
Caught the back half of the football. I mean, that's great hooks right there. That's tremendous concentration on the ball.
Smith, a 2nd-team All-American. And now Hibble again out of the shotgun. Looking across the middle of the end zone and overthrows Antoine Savage.
They're taking their shot down the football field, but getting back to Smith. Number 88 in white, the tight end for the Oklahoma Sooners. The problem that he poses, too big for defensive backs, too fast for linebackers. Here they're trying to stretch the football field and get it down the field to Savage. And I'll tell you, that's another Chuck Long adjustment right there. Vertical. This is a horizontal passing attack, stretching the field horizontally. Went over the top.
Griffin cuts it back to the inside, and he's wrapped up at the 17 by Kurt Davis. It'll bring up 3rd down for the Sooners.
That's where Griffin's speed comes into play. He can take that ball. He's going to beat your defense to the corner. So you really have to rally to bring him down. Now you're in 2nd and short. And that's where Oklahoma can take a big shot. You can take a shot or you're 3rd and short.
Well, Griffin's the kind of guy, 5'7", hides behind the, look, you can't see him in the huddle, hides behind those offensive linemen.
You got it.
And he doesn't give you any hitting surface. It's like trying to tackle a pectoral and a quadricep, nothing else.
3rd and 2. Griffin again stuffed at the line of scrimmage, tries to spin his way to the first down, met initially by Davis. And we'll see depending on the spot. Also there, Justin Scott.
Outstanding surge right there by Arkansas's defensive line. Any success on short yardage and goal line, Tim, starts with the guys root hogging and getting underneath and reestablishing the line of scrimmage.
There's Curtis Fagan out there against Richardson, and this is the kind of feud you can expect all day long. A lot of hitting in this game and a lot of emotion.
All right, Bob Stoops has made the decision on 4th and a yard. He's going for it.
Interesting call right here. Has confidence in that O-line.
They've converted 4 of 10 on the season. Play fake, roll out, and a first down, Oklahoma. Hibble again able to find Trent Smith.
He's got even more confidence in Trent Smith. After Smith made the last catch to get Oklahoma down here, I think this is a wise call because Smith is on his game. So they roll Hibble out on the bootleg, and it's a sure thing today. Smith playing very well.
And I think he's got confidence in Hibble, who struggled against Oklahoma State. 4th and short, have your quarterback get out of pocket, change the launch point, and deliver it accurately. That's confidence in the way he's playing early.
They pitch it to Griffin, who nearly lost the handle, headed towards the corner, and he drags down to the 3-yard line. Caleb Miller able to catch him before he got to the end zone.
Great downfield blocking by Savage, a wide receiver. Whenever you have a successful run on the perimeter, the wide receivers are doing a good job sustaining their blocks with the secondary. Savage did a nice job on that one.
A gain of 9 for Griffin. 2nd and a yard. Oklahoma with the ball at the Arkansas 4. Inside handoff to Griffin, sniffing the end zone. Did he get in? No signal yet. And apparently he is just short, about the 1 foot line. Jermaine Brooks able to wrap him up.
Talk about a surge. Oklahoma's offensive line just controlled the line of scrimmage on that play.
Plus it's first down. They have 1st and goal from the half-yard line. So they can, literally 4 cracks here if they need that many.
Well, I said Arkansas, if they were going to upset Oklahoma, they needed big plays. And right now, they need a turnover.
Ronaldo works a lone setback. Hibble on the sneak.
He's in.
And it's a touchdown for Nate Hibble in Oklahoma.
I think this was an important series for Nate Hibble, not only because he scored the touchdown, but because he's 5 of 6 right now with 42 yards. And they wanted to get his confidence back. I got to believe that he is extremely confident right now.
He's bouncing back big time. Good resiliency by Hibble.
Duncan with a point after. And Oklahoma leads 7-0. So the defending national champions, who have been up and down offensively, look mighty impressive on that drive, capped off by the Hibble 1-yard touchdown. Enter the SBC Cotton Bowl Classic sweepstakes, and you can win a trip for 2 to Pasadena, California on January the 3rd this year. Compliments of SBC. To register, log on to foxsports.com by 12:30 p.m. Central Time today and click on the SBC Cotton Bowl logo. A very impressive start for the junior quarterback Nate Hibble.
We talked to Nate Hibble this week, and he was haunted by that Oklahoma State game. And when Oklahoma lost that game, he didn't perform well. He had 3 interceptions. He was under pressure all day long. And I think this game for him was incredibly important to get back on track.
Duncan, another impressive kick, sails out of the end zone. So again, Arkansas for the 3rd time will get the ball at its own 20.
Happy New Year. You're back with us at the Cotton Bowl in Dallas, Texas. Oklahoma on top 7-0. And it looks like Arkansas is going to go to the freshman quarterback, true freshman, Matt Jones.
18 years old. This kid is 6'6", runs a 4.4 40-yard dash. Just an incredible athlete. I mean, 75% of the time when he's coming to the game, he's run the football. Defenses know he's going to run the football. He's still averaging 8 yards a carry, but he can't get out of pocket and throw the ball accurately. He's the total package. Now he's lined up early in the season a little bit at the wide receiver spot. Gifted athlete.
Yeah, he's a soft-spoken young man, but when he did speak, he told us he likes to throw on the run. And when I asked him if he was really 6'6", he said, I'm 6'6", flat-footed.
Flat-footed and barefooted. And this kid in high school, he told me he was a good basketball player. He's thinking about trying out for the Arkansas basketball team when the football season's over with. In one game in high school, in 1 quarter, he scored 26 points. He said, I averaged about 6 or 7 alley-oop dunks a game. Yeah. He's got about a 40-inch vertical to go with that 4.4.
He was big time. Maybe Oklahoma recruited him, but they were unable to take him out of his home state of Arkansas.
Miami wanted him as well. Oklahoma and Miami, 2 pretty good quarterbacking schools.
Cedric Cobbs has come on for the first time, and immediately they play fake it, and off to the races is Jones. So just like that, he makes his presence known, caught from behind by Heineke.
Well, that's what we said Arkansas needed, and that's exactly what Arkansas fans got. And what you get to see on this is pure speed, because there's a defender out here to play this option. There's a man, Heineke's the man on the quarterback, but you can't put a defensive end on Matt Jones. He is too fast.
Great misdirection. Cobbs and the entire offensive line went to the left. He went to the right by himself like a misdirection offense, and Oklahoma's pursuit angles were all messed up.
Here's the diamond formation. Right there, you see that diamond option.
Almost like the triple option when Jones comes into the game. Nice play defensively made there by the All-American Rocky Calmus.
And this is a new look that they installed just for this game against Oklahoma. The danger, though, is in this diamond, if the fullback's taken away, you're going east and west. And there's Pierce. He didn't give him the football because they defended the fullback dive, and then down the line of scrimmage goes Jones. Great read by Calmus.
The other danger is number 20, Rocky Calmus, who you said, Dave, has a, what'd you say, a PhD?
A master's in football geometry.
I think he might even have graduated to a PhD because he is everywhere the ball is. He's a student of the game, and he plays with great intensity and speed, and those two combined are what made him the Butkus Award winner.
Both of the linebackers, Lehman and Calmus, were high school running backs. I think that helps them defensively.
Jones hands it off to Cobb. And Cobbs is wrestled down, maybe a gain of 1 by the sophomore Jimmy Wilkerson and a host of Sooners.
It was interesting talking with Oklahoma's head coach Bob Stoops yesterday, and they expected some option, and they expected some running for Matt Jones. But Bob Stoops told us, he said, you know, teams have tried to run the option against this defense before this season. We saw it with Nebraska and Kansas State and Air Force. No one does it better than Air Force, but none of them were able to succeed against his defense.
And nobody runs the option better than Eric Crouch, the Heisman Trophy winner. A different type of athlete, not as tall as Jones, but definitely as fast.
Well, the play clock got down to 3, and so Jones wants a timeout before it's 3rd and 9. This week, it's another full day of NFL action, beginning with the undisputed champion of pregame shows, Fox NFL Sunday. Then Brett Favre and the playoff-bound Packers take on the Giants and Michael Strahan, who's looking, of course, for the all-time single-season sack record. Or Chris Chandler and the Falcons take on Marshall Faulk and the Rams. Noon Eastern, 9 Pacific on Fox. 3rd down, Jones under heavy heat, and he's sacked all the way back at the 31. Wilkerson again, the first man there.
This Oklahoma defense doesn't go for the fake draw in the least. Watch the pressure. You're going to see Jones. He tries to decoy the defense and draw him away with a fake handoff to Holmes, but Wilkerson never slows down.
Well, they ran a stunt up front with the defensive line and complemented with the linebacker scraping. They outmanned the Arkansas Razorbacks in pass protection, blitz pickup, and got home free.
Curtis Fagan backpedals all the way to the 20, and a flag comes down.
They may be calling that halo violation. Can't get within 2 yards of the return man. It's either a hold by the other return man that was blocking for his partner, or they got him for a halo violation being a little bit too close. Let's see which one it is.
That's Ahmad Carroll. They call him the Batman.
He was a huge recruiting victory for Arkansas. Heavily recruited guy.
Kick catch interference on a kicking team. 2-yard radius foul. 5-yard penalty on the spot of the foul. First down.
You know what? If I were coaching my punt coverage team, I'd say forget the halo, knock him down. Make him think about you the rest of the game. I'd take a 5-yard penalty to take a good hit. 2 yards. He's within the 2 yards. Personally, I don't like the rule. I think as long as you don't interfere with his opportunity to catch the football, I think that's a good play. I think the 2-yard rule is a little bit a little bit crazy in my mind.
1st and 10 Oklahoma. Ronaldo works the ball carrier, and he picks up 2, tripped up by Carlos Hall. That'll be the final play of the opening quarter. We talked so much about Hibble and Smith on that drive, but also Oklahoma ran the ball well. Quentin Griffin on that opening drive, nearly 5 yards a carry.
I think you give Chuck Long a lot of credit for different formation looks too. I mean, he's done a heck of a job with this offense.
So the defending national champion Oklahoma Sooners at the end of the opening quarter lead Arkansas 7-0.
The SBC Cotton Bowl Classic is brought to you by SBC. We're on it. By Goodyear, reminding you to take all your journeys on the wings of Goodyear. By Taco Bell, think outside the bun. And by Siemens. Siemens, global network of innovation.
7-0. Oklahoma in front of Arkansas. Let's go downstairs and welcome in the former Dallas Cowboy, Brian Baldinger.
Thanks, Tom. I was just being nosy during the timeout. Defense coordinator John Thompson said he's got to get the signal into the defense faster. Oklahoma is beating them off the snap. They're getting their plays in quicker. They want to get set, get ready to take on those Oklahoma Sooners. Thanks, Tom.
You know, guys, that's another adjustment Chuck Long was talking about. Increase the tempo. Get to the line of scrimmage quicker. Change the snap counts. Chuck Long has definitely had an influence on this offensive game plan today in many areas for Oklahoma.
Get a look at John Thompson, the defensive coordinator for the Razorbacks. It's 2nd and 8 for the Sooners at their own 28-yard line. Hibble, the quick hit, and not much running room out there. Smothered immediately as Josh Norman. And I'm not sure he got back to the line of scrimmage.
He didn't, and one thing this Arkansas defense does well is pursue. And if a defense can pursue the way Arkansas does, you need to get vertical on them immediately. One of the things Chuck Long did say, and we talked a lot about him, was he wanted to go less horizontal with his passing game and more vertical. Well, that last play was a horizontal pass play.
He took one shot over the top to Savage in the post of the end zone. That's been basically it over the top. Everything else has been sideline to sideline.
3 receivers to the bottom of your screen. And Hibble looking that way. Now under heat from Hall, escapes trouble. Flag comes down. That'll undoubtedly be a hold against Oklahoma.
It's on Romero. Big Frank Romero, the left tackle, pulled the defensive end to the turf. He hasn't given up a quarterback sack all year, but he got his money's worth there. Number 63 in the white jersey grabbed and pulled down because he knew that his quarterback Hibble was going to be in trouble. So that'll, if they take the penalty, which I can't imagine they wouldn't, be 10 yards against Oklahoma from Romero's hold.
Big defensive series for Arkansas.
Well, you got to decline the penalty here, right?
Sure.
They just failed on
Make
3rd down. Yep, make them punt it away.
Holding on the offense. Penalties decline. 4th down.
Pretty good comeback defensive effort that time by Arkansas after the last Oklahoma drive.
Well, I think Arkansas is one thing they're not going to do after starting out the season 1-3 and 0-3 in the SEC conference and then winning 6 in a row. They're not going to quit. I mean, they faced adversity and responded before.
Jeff Ferguson, the first-team All-American punter for the Sooners, set to punt for the 2nd time today, and Marvin Jackson stands back at his own 30. Short punt.
That's Halo problem. That's a definite invasion right there.
Well, you said before you'd take the penalty and go with the intimidation factor.
I would. It's only 5 yards, and now the rest of the game, he's going to be thinking about Peoples coming right down in his grill.
Bobby Stoops, a man who really runs during the game, and you rarely see that by a head coach. The special teams calls for the Sooners.
And Bobby Stoops he's a big-time riverboat gambler on special teams. They scored
interference on the kicking team. 5-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. 1st down.
I don't mind that 5-yard penalty. If I'm coaching the punt team.
Look at Peoples. I mean he pops him here, and then he's over on the sideline and he's smiling and everybody's patting him on the helmet. I don't think they mind the 5-yard penalty.
I don't either. I wouldn't either.
Hit first and ask questions later. Oklahoma leads Arkansas 7-0, just underway here in the 2nd quarter. Happy New Year's.
Well, Arkansas with some good field position, and with Matt Jones in the game, I think they've got a chance. I think they can continue to use him running the football, and if you look at his numbers, when he has carried it in the running game on the option, he's been pretty impressive.
Let's go downstairs to Brian Baldinger.
Yeah, hey, Tom, I was just in the huddle again with John Thompson, defensive coordinator, and he said the movement is really bothering Oklahoma's offense. They've tightened their splits. They've added a tight end. Look for them not even to put a man with their hand on the ground. Everybody's standing up.
Keep an eye on that as Jones temporarily escapes trouble and caught from behind by Roy Williams. The junior out of Union City, California, regarded as the top defender in America.
Top defender. Watch him coming here. He's coming on the blitz, whether it's run or pass. Roy Williams is in the backfield, and here you see his athleticism. tackling an extremely fast Matt Jones. The thing I loved about Roy Williams, the thing he liked most about this week was visiting the Children's Hospital, and what a wonderful young man.
Cedric Cobbs, the MVP of the SBC Cotton Bowl 2 years ago. Met head-on by Teddy Lehman. We brought up earlier the fact that Brandon Holmes got the start, actually third on the depth chart at tailback for the Razorbacks. Fred Talley was suspended at the end of November, reinstated. We still haven't called his name yet today. We understand from Coach Nutt he will play.
Well, Holmes is a guy, he's the thumper. Talley's the guy with the wiggle. Cobb can do both. So if you get a guy that can do both, why not give him some snaps? And I think he's healthy enough. He's had some lower back spasm problems, but he seems healthy enough.
And he had hamstring problems as well during the season. Jones throws behind the intended receiver, Cobbs. That's 3 and out for Arkansas offensively after getting outstanding field position.
Well, here's a number on Oklahoma that I think is remarkable. 53% of the series against their defense have ended in 3 and out or turnover. 53% of the time they make you go 1, 2, 3 punt or take it away.
Well, I thought Arkansas had a little bit of an emotional edge coming into this one, but whatever edge they've had, I think Oklahoma has regained.
Defense hitting you in the mouth will do that. Watch this, off the edge, open man.
They come after it, nearly got it. Fagan standing down there. That will be down at the 18-yard line. We have flags back by the punter, and then a flag at the complete opposite end of the field.
Well, Richie Butler's the punter, and was he run into? That's what that flag's all about. Was he run into, or was the defender blocked into him? And then downfield, a second flag that's a totally different problem than running into the punter.
I think Jeremy Hess had a late hit. He just lambasted the Oklahoma man with the ball.
Gavin Walls really laying in at the other end of the field after the punt.
Bob Stoops is definitely a riverboat gambler in terms of his special teams, though. He will go out, he'll try to block punts, he'll fake punts, he'll fake field goals. He scored touchdowns off of a fake punt and a fake field goal this season. I mean, he thinks special teams.
2 fouls on the play. Personal foul, roughing the kicker. On the receiving team, that's a 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down. Dead ball foul. Personal foul on Arkansas. That penalty will be administered from the previous back, 15 yards. Arkansas keeps the ball. First down.
So that's going to give Arkansas a first down, but it's going to take the 15 yards away. So here's the roughing the kicker penalty. You're going to see Derek Strait or Jarvis Smith right there, and he knocks the punter down.
Yeah, Strait the man on the corner, where's number 2, and then Smith the guy who got the punter.
Yeah, after the play, Jeremy Smith had a late hit. And it was a late hit, and it was a hit, too.
Well, now Houston Nutt hoping to find something there, some hole, some area to attack in this Oklahoma defense.
I'd like to see him run some kind of a pass out of the option.
Mark Pierce, the first man through. They fake it to him. Jones hangs onto it, takes it down the line, and maybe picks up 2. Lehman on the tackle.
Well, Lehman and Kalmus, you know, Dave, you talked about Kalmus and his kind of mental sharpness and getting to the football. I think Lehman has the same thing and maybe even more speed than Kalmus.
Well, he runs 4.5. Lehman does. Kalmus runs a 4.6 40. Kalmus and Lehman were both former high school running backs. That's the kind of speed they have. Kalmus 20, Lehman 11. This kid ran Lehman ran a 10,600 meters in high school. He was the small school, state high school sprint champion, so he can fly. Speed at linebacker, these two.
They pitch it the other way, and this Oklahoma defense sensational. The senior out of Freeport, New York, Brandon Moore. Of course, his brother Rob Moore has been an NFL standout for many, many years.
Well, the guy that makes this, though, is Jimmy Wilkerson. And watch the upfield pressure that he gets here on this play. Look at Wilkerson. And he just drives deep. And he's the guy that holds up Birmingham. And then Moore finishes him off.
He got inside the big freshman offensive tackle, Sean Andrews. He lost his technique a little bit on that one, the big fella.
Now they're going to want to move Matt Jones. He's not going to want to sit in the pocket.
And Oklahoma coming after him. And down he goes.
Relentless defense.
Guess who?
Roy Williams.
That's his second sack of the day. So you'll see him in coverage. You'll see he's like a mutant. He's like sometimes he's a defensive back, sometimes he's a linebacker, and this kid is just a phenomenal athlete. Pressure coming out in Roy Williams, gets off the block and then follows him up. He gets off the blitz pickup of Cedric Cobb and stays after it.
Returnable kick here for Fagan, but he is hammered. Boy, what great closing coverage there by Ahmad Carroll and Harold Harris. It looked like he had a shot to bring that back. He's lucky to get up. The 1978 Orange Bowl, Lou Holtz's most challenging hour as Arkansas head coach. His team a 3-touchdown underdog to #2 Oklahoma. Billy Sims fumbled on the 3rd play of the game, and then Roland Sales ran wild. 205 yards, an Orange Bowl record, 2 touchdowns. Lou Holtz's finest hour as well as Arkansas coach. They destroyed Oklahoma and their national championship dreams, 31-6.
Sales was the backup. His starter was suspended for breaking a team violation. Roland Sales comes off the bench and goes into history. Unbelievable.
It's hard to believe these two teams, as close as they are proximity-wise, have only met twice since 1926. I was shocked when I read that.
Yeah.
And both times in the Orange Bowl. On the reverse, they hand it off to Fagan. And staying right there was Carlos Hall. They've tried that play twice, and both times Hall has been right where he's supposed to be.
I'm telling you, the way these two defenses are playing, special teams, field position is going to decide this football game. The team that avoids the big mistake and makes the big play in the kicking game is going to come out with a victory. And that's why on that last one, when Strait pressured to block the punt, Oklahoma rolled the dice. They left Arkansas's kill man wide open. Arkansas didn't take advantage of it.
Look at that
big play.
Look at that. How'd you like to have to call protection on that defensive formation?
Hall initially got a piece of Hibble, who escapes trouble and just throws it away. Good decision there by Hibble.
Yeah, that was a smart play by Hibble, but boy, that was some kind of defensive formation for the Oklahoma offensive line to have to sort out, and it's no wonder somebody comes free from this pack of players.
That's the old bunch formation,
Look at that.
That's what Brian Balding was talking about.
So Carlos Hall gets loose, and Nate Hibble does a fantastic job of eluding that rush and then safely throwing it out of bounds. See, in the Oklahoma State game when they were upset by OSU, Hibble threw that for an interception instead of the safety pass out of bounds.
Or held the ball and took a sack. He was sacked 7 times.
3rd and 14. Good protection this time for Hibble all day to throw. He is not a runner. And he is sandwiched high and low by Hall and Petty.
Well, this right here is a great change-up by the Arkansas defense because Nate Hibble has nowhere to go. You saw the all-out blitz last time. Look at all the guys here who could come, but only 3 do. Look at, there's only 3 rushers. And so downfield, there's coverage everywhere. Nowhere for Nate Hibble to throw to, and then a good reaction back when he scrambles. That's a second big series for Arkansas's defense in a row.
8 guys covering 3 receivers on that play. Rushed 3 and dropped 8.
Ferguson able to glove the high snap. Good hang time here, and the fair catch signaled for by Marvin Jackson. 37-yard punt. So you want to play quarterback? Maybe not. If you like defense, the Sooners are your kind of team.
Well, there's so much team speed, and they gang tackle. I mean, they never leave a teammate out there in an island one-on-one to make plays.
You know, statistics don't always mean something, but in this case, they certainly do. Because today, Arkansas's total offense is -2 yards. Look at that right there. -2 for Arkansas, 72 for Oklahoma.
Roy Williams had 2 sacks all season long. He's got 2 sacks in the Cotton Bowl.
Yeah.
They've decided to put Roy Williams up at the line of scrimmage and bring him as an extra blitzer at the quarterback position, and it's worked well. I mean, he's doubled his sack total on the season.
We talked about Arkansas's ability to upset Oklahoma, and we said that they would have to have some big plays, and we have not seen one big play yet from Arkansas's offense.
They haven't completed a pass.
No, and they're going to go back to Zach Clark.
Clark, short drop, and there's the first completed throw of the game by an Arkansas quarterback, George Wilson, able to pick up close to 5.
And that's what you have to do against a team that's pressuring you. 3-step drop, get rid of the ball quickly.
And it's a safe pass, too, because they just ran Wilson on an out cut, and he's being covered by straight. He just breaks out. It's a safe pass for Clark to throw.
Second and 3, and a big hole for Brandon Holmes, still on his feet down the sideline.
Well, the whole
and
thing's
he's
going to
caught to
come
the
back.
22.
Yeah,
The whole thing's going to come back because Brandon Holmes, who had the great run,
Got an
had
early
a
start.
mental error. Yeah, he got an early start, is right.
Yeah.
He staggered in the backfield, and that's a cost. So the first big offensive play is going to come back because of a mental error.
Illegal motion on the offense. Player was moving forward prior to the snap. 5-yard penalty. Repeat. Second out.
There he is in the backfield. You see him lurch forward. It's okay in Canada going forward motion, but not in the United States. There he goes with that forward motion. You can't start to the line of scrimmage prior to the snap of the football. Now, if
Hey, it feels like we're in Canada.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
It does, doesn't it? But he can't go forward like that. He could have taken 1 step forward going in motion laterally, but heck, he was the running back. He had no choice but to follow through on his assignment. He was in trouble.
So it goes from 2nd and 3 to 2nd and 8. And Clark to throw it. Wide open is Mark Pierce, and he's out to the 37-yard line.
You talk about recruiting. We talked about Ahmad Carroll, and that was a big thing. Mark Pierce was actually the MVP of the Texas High School All-Star game, and they were able to bring him up to Arkansas. I think Houston Nutt has done a fantastic job of making players and recruits feel like if you come to Arkansas, you're going to be part of more than just a football team. You're going to be part of a family.
He was a high school tailback, rushed for over 120 yards in that all-star game. He's a tailback playing fullback, and he gives you that speed at fullback.
Big play here, 3rd and 3. And Clark wants a timeout. And you talk to Houston Nutt, he believes his team's a year or 2 away from contending for a national championship of its own.
You know, Tommy, I believe it too. Back at the Cotton Bowl, if anyone is going to be ready to win a national championship, I think one of the keys is you have to be able to recruit football players out of the state of Texas. You look here at what both of these teams have been able to do. Oklahoma, 39 players out of Texas. Arkansas, 22. So that's a huge gain for them in that state. Arkansas has even taken a couple out of Oklahoma, and then when it comes to the home state, Arkansas has kept them all.
I think we should cover the elections. That's clearer to me than the electoral college that you see election night. That graphic makes sense to me now.
Or election month.
Yeah, exactly.
As we had this time a year ago.
A lot of good football down here, a lot of great high school football, and what a great tradition, the Cotton Bowl. I think we all used to watch it. You know, you roll out of bed New Year's Day, and it's the Cotton Bowl.
Joe Montana, baby.
The fertile states to recruit, though. Texas, California, Florida. You got to do your job in Texas.
The Hogs 0 for 5 on 3rd down so far. It's a big play.
Good movement.
Lancaster, the
Got away with it, though.
Yeah,
I
he
didn't
did.
see a flag.
No flag, but sacked.
Boy, Oklahoma's sideline, Bobby Stoops is going nuts. On the sideline, Bobby Stoops is all over the officials saying, Lancaster broke his stance. Wait, Mike and Bobby Stoops. There's Bobby saying to the official, how can you not call that? And there's Mike saying, how can you not call that? Lancaster and the referee saying he can break his stance and reset. No, watch. There's the fullback. He went forward. He took a step forward. That's a penalty. That's a legal motion. That's a legal procedure, and they got away with it.
Hey, when you're going against the Oklahoma defense, they're going to let you start early.
Yeah, really.
Curtis Fagan crosses the 30. And then there to wrap him up and drag him down is Harold Harris out at the 33-yard line. 44-yard punt for Richie Butler. It's a new show everyone's been talking about. The best short sports show, period. The nightly show that features a comedian who's a diehard sports fan and a bunch of ex-jocks who really know the game. Weeknights only on Fox Sports Net. Check local listings for the start time in your area. I'm sure you guys have been on that show already, right?
No, I missed that opportunity. I'm still looking forward to an invitation.
How about you, Tim?
Yeah, they have not had me on yet.
No. Okay.
I'm not a primetime guy. I'm a New Year's morning type
That's
guy.
it. They throw it to Quentin Griffin. And he is met by Caleb Miller. Eddie Jackson maybe picked up a yard.
Well, after that one drive that Oklahoma had, where Nate Hibble completed 5 out of 6 passes, and Quentin Griffin had about 21 yards on the ground, Arkansas's defense has had just as much control of the game as Oklahoma's defense has.
And I'll tell you, Oklahoma gets a lot of credit for their defensive team speed, which they should, but Arkansas is no slouch either. I mean, this is a defensive dominated game. That's why field position, I still say, is going to be large in this one.
You're talking about Oklahoma's offense, only 72 yards of total offense for the Sooners through better than a quarter and a half. And here's Griffin, and he'll pick up close to 5 as he crosses the 40. Let's go downstairs along the sideline to Brian Baldinger.
Yeah, thanks, Tom. I was just, when Oklahoma was on the sideline, when their defense was out there, I talked to Nate Hibble and center Vince Carter. They said they weren't confused by the different looks that Arkansas is giving them. But right now, you can see that Arkansas is dictating from this side of the football.
Well, Brian, thanks. They had to be confused on that one play when 4 guys lined up over the center because Carlos Hall came untouched to the quarterback.
Hibble wants timeout. He must have seen something he didn't like. When we come back, Oklahoma facing a 3rd and 2. Nothing Oklahoma, 5:02 to play until halftime. This game has been dominated by the defenses so far. Only one Oklahoma drive, its 2nd drive of the game, led to a score.
Since that touchdown, Oklahoma has gone 3 and out on both its drives, and this play here would be the first time they've broken that since the score.
Here we go.
You know, you said something earlier, Tim, sorry to interrupt, about how sometimes numbers can be deceiving as far as stats. This Oklahoma offense averaged over 30 points a game, but they were very up and down.
Well, their defense scored 5 touchdowns, and they scored some on special teams as well.
I think Trent Smith is the guy you want to go to on short yard like this.
And they fire across the middle, and it's caught by Josh Norman. Tony Boo able to drag him down, but a first down to the Arkansas 47.
Same type of thing you were talking about, though, Tim, is because he comes out of the slot, and they go to a tight end type body.
Well, they use a bunch, and then he comes right across the middle in a tight end type of a pattern. And heck, Josh Norman, 6'2", 233. He's almost the size of a tight end. He is as big as a tight end.
And a lot of these receivers didn't start their playing careers at Oklahoma's receiver. They were defensive backs and running backs.
Play fake to Griffin, and Hibble down the sideline. Terrific coverage, and it's broken up by the strong safety Corey Harris.
But Antoine Savage turned himself into a defensive back on this play. Watch Savage. He's going to get behind the defensive back. He's going to get behind Richardson. He's going to get behind Harris. Look at him there. He's wide open. He has to come back to this pass and he actually takes it out of Harris's hands.
I thought he jumped a little too early, but watching the replay, it wasn't as badly timed as I thought, but watching at it in game speed, I thought he left his feet a little too soon. Nice play.
That was a touchdown pass that was underthrown.
Griffin on 2nd and 9. Picks up 2. Miller on the stop.
Arkansas does such a good job of gap control. You know, nobody over pursues, nobody's on their feet, nobody gets cut to the ground. Everybody's up and running inside out pursuit to the football. Both of these defenses are like that. They're so athletic. You know, what you look for as an offensive lineman is chop somebody to the ground and give you running back a cutback lane. It's not happening today. These guys are too athletic.
3rd and 10. They're coming after Hybl. Good protection. Throws over the middle and in and out of the hands momentarily, almost intercepted by Eddie Jackson.
This is the 2nd pass in a row downfield that's off the mark by Nate Hybl. And you're going to see Savage comes right across the center of the formation. And look at Jackson. That would have been a spectacular catch, but that was a pass that Hybl shouldn't have thrown.
Well, did you see all the crisscrossing and stunting going on up front by the defensive line? That's a traffic jam done sort there, boy.
Ferguson puts the right foot on it. And a flag, and again, I'm sure we're going to have
Halo violation.
That looked like people. Is that Peoples again? Yeah, it is. Let's see what kind of a reception he gets on the sideline. Let's see if the coaches and the players are still happy that he's drawn these 5-yard penalties, but hammering the Arkansas player. There's one high five.
Kick catch interference.
There's another high five.
Okay.
There's a pat on the helmet.
5-yard penalty.
Handshake by Ferguson.
First down.
I think this might be part of the game plan. What do you think?
I'd coach it that way.
Another high five.
You know what? If you back off of these guys, they're such good athletes. They can make you miss and make 5 yards anyway. So might as well get your lick in and take the 5-yard penalty.
I don't know about you. Every time I get a speeding violation, my wife gives me a high five in the car.
He's got it figured out to be 1 yard away. He just has to choke it down 1 extra yard.
.339 to play until halftime. Brandon Holmes off the left tackle out to the 25-yard line. Penalty flag down on the play. Arkansas hit with nearly 50 yards per game in penalties this season. It's really hurt them.
This holding penalty is a killer because the field position is going to be nasty now, and you don't want to get off schedule against Oklahoma, being down in distance that are long. You don't want 1st and 20, 2nd and 18. You don't want that stuff.
They've had a tough enough time moving the ball without a penalty.
Holding on the offense. Half the distance to the goal. Repeat. First down.
They'll back them up all the way inside the 10, back to the 9-yard line.
Well, every great defensive football team has to be solid up the middle. You start with Tommy Harris and those 2 inside linebackers. Boy, Oklahoma's solid up the middle.
Clark checking off, play clock down to 3. They just do get it off. And Holmes again with a big hole.
Woo, man.
And he just ran over Brandon Everidge.
7-on-7 there. Man.
You know, every time you see the opposition backed up into this corner, what brings back play
Watch Holmes.
earlier.
We said you need to get and attack this Oklahoma defense and hit the hole hard, and Holmes does that. There's some nice blocking here, nice lane to run through, and then you see his power when he knocks Everidge to the turf.
When you square those shoulder pads up and lower that pad level, you can deliver a hit like he did.
Second and 7. They'll give it to Holmes again. Running hard out to the 25. You know, we're starting to talk about when you see the opposition down in the corner in this end zone. Earlier this year when Oklahoma came in to take on Texas, this might have been the greatest defensive play of the season.
Well, blitz pickup is just negated by an effort by Roy Williams. He becomes Superman and goes airborne, and the pass is deflected. Teddy Lehman catches the deflection for a touchdown. Not only that, the next kickoff, he makes the tackle. The next play after the kickoff, another interception.
The great thing is, Williams, he tried that same play earlier, and they said, hey, if you get the chance, don't leave your feet again.
Right.
But he couldn't help himself. He left his feet and made a huge play.
Batted ball at the line of scrimmage. So Arkansas fails on 3rd down. Kalmus appeared to be the defender who got a hand on the throw.
Well, there was coverage all over, and they tried to throw that to Jason Peters, the tight end. But the coverage by Oklahoma in the zone was just too tight.
That's what happens when you start 1st and 18 after a penalty. Tough to convert.
Well, Oklahoma going to get it back once more in good field position. Fagan unable to beat the first man down the field. Ahmad Carroll, he's been all over the place on special teams, specifically punt coverage today.
Well, we talked about Carroll earlier, and he was a huge recruit from Atlanta, Georgia, and everyone thought he was going to go to Georgia. And talking to Houston Nutt this week, he said, you know, actually Carroll saw us play 2 years ago and upset Texas in the Cotton Bowl in this game, and Ahmad Carroll mentioned that game, and that was one of the things that had him come to Arkansas.
I think Arkansas's defensive scheme is a factor too. They load the line of scrimmage and the cornerbacks play press coverage. NFL scouts like to see if you can play man-to-man press.
There he is, man-to-man down there.
That highlights his talents.
A shovel pass, and it didn't fool anybody. I'll tell you, this Oklahoma offense has done next to nothing against the Arkansas defense since the 2nd drive. Let's go downstairs to Brian Bowling.
Yeah, thanks, Tom. I was in the huddle of the Oklahoma Sooners while they were on the sidelines, and Jonathan Hayes, the offensive line coach, is furious at his guys up front saying, Arkansas is not doing anything we didn't expect, and that we got to just start blocking them a whole lot better.
Far sideline, and the catch is made by Fagan, and boy, did he take a lick down there, but hung on.
Well, they've got 2 men out there to cover Fagan. He's got a corner underneath. He's got a safety over the top. But he's a tremendous speed guy, and he's going to get between them. And watch how well this ball is thrown by Nate Hybl. Look at that. There's the safety who comes up. But Hybl delivers a perfect pass downfield.
Less than a minute to go, and there's the incompletion on the far sideline. Carroll there on the coverage. We were talking about Carroll a moment ago. Another big determining factor in him going to Arkansas, their 37 national championships in track.
Right,
Bear in mind that Carroll, the Georgia State record holder, running a 10-4 in the 100 meters.
And back to that throw by Hybl for a second. To beat cover 2, you have to keep it to the sideline. The safety could not get there in time because of the throw by Hybl. Eddie Jackson could not get there as a safety because Hybl kept the ball to the sideline, not giving him enough opportunity.
Hybl throws to the near side, and making the catch is Norman, shy of the first down to the 40, or pardon me, the 37-yard line.
Hybl's 11 for 16 right now, and he's having a pretty good day. We've seen him inconsistent only in his deep passing. Otherwise, he's been on the mark.
And the throws that he's made so well are the deep outs and the sideline throws. The ball's in the air a long time. That's what you look at to see if a guy's got arm strength.
I think Arkansas has to bring some pressure on him if they're going to get him out of the rhythm that he's established.
Oklahoma trying at the minimum to get within field goal range. They throw it in the flat to Griffin, and right there to make the play is Richardson, native of Galveston, Texas.
Great open field one-on-one tackle. I mean, Griffin usually makes the first guy miss. When you break down and make a tackle that cleanly and that surely in the open field, that's a gold star on the forehead of Richardson.
Oklahoma wants a timeout with 37 seconds left. Lawrence Richardson had an off-the-field incident which nearly led to him being suspended by Houston Nutt. He gave him a second chance, and Houston Nutt said the other day, he said, I've been more impressed with what Lawrence Richardson has done off the field than what he's done on the field.
I think if you look at Richardson and if you look at Jackson and you look at Ahmad Carroll, you see the reason why Arkansas can be so aggressive in its defensive scheme because they can play man-to-man with those guys, and it frees up a safety.
And they were a little afraid of the size mismatch. Oklahoma has big receivers, and Arkansas's corners aren't the biggest guys in the world. They thought that Oklahoma may take advantage of that size differential, but not so far. I mean, Arkansas, when catches have been made, they have ended the journey quickly. There's not been a whole lot of yards after catch for the Sooners.
They have ended the journey quickly. I like that saying.
Let's go.
Bob Stoops has made the decision that he's going to go ahead and punt it. A little surprised by this. Stoops, as you mentioned earlier, he'll do some things that are way out there.
Maybe this will be a fake because certainly his defense has smothered Arkansas's offense. I can't believe they'd be afraid of that.
And they'll punt it. Nobody back there. Oh, and it's into the end zone. They'll bring it out to the 20. 41-yard punt.
21-yard net. All he gets is 21 yards by the decision to punt that football field position-wise, but there's only 30 seconds to go in the half. He didn't want to make a mistake, I think, and give Arkansas real good field position because he knows his defense is playing so well, but he played that rather conservatively.
Well, maybe he didn't want to give Arkansas a big play, and as you know, again, we said from the start, for Arkansas to upset last year's national champions, they're going to have some really big plays, and they've not had those so far today. They've not had long runs, they've not had long passes, and they've not had any turnovers.
We're just going to give it to Brandon Holmes, and he is chopped down out at the 25-yard line. Matt McCoy coming up to make the tackle, and let's see, they're going to hurry it up to the line of scrimmage. Down to 15 seconds left.
This has been a defensive clinic for both teams in the first half.
Clark, three-step drop, fires to the far sideline, had an eye out there on George Wilson, and that's the way the first half will end. Next to zero offense for either team. It was one drive that's the difference in a 7-0 game right now.
Well, that one drive, I think, was very, very important for Oklahoma quarterback Nate Hybl, who struggled in their final regular season game.
Let's go downstairs to Brian Boldinger.
Thanks, Tom. Here with Bob Stoops, and Bob pitching a shutout right here. Got to like the way the defense is playing.
Defense is playing really well. Been very solid. Offense, we've had our times. We've had a drive or so, just inconsistent, but not bad either.
Is there movement on defense from Arkansas bothering what you're doing up front offensively?
I don't know. I think they've made some plays. We need to execute our passing game better, hopefully, and get the ball downfield in some seams. We're just not able to find them.
Have a good second half. Good luck, Coach.
Bob Stoops, a 41-year-old Youngstown, Ohio native, in his third year at Oklahoma, led him to the national championship last year. He'd like to lead him to a SBC Cotton Bowl victory here today. All the festivities are coming up. 7-0 Oklahoma. We're just about set for the start of the second half. Let's go downstairs to Brian Boldinger.
Thanks, Tom. Here with head coach Houston Nutt. Coach, one score difference right now. You're playing well defensively.
Our defense is playing great, doing a great job containing them, keeping everything in front. We're hitting, we're tackling right. We just got to make a play. We're real close. Our offense feels pretty good right now. They got a great defense, the bottom line.
You've used both quarterbacks. Anything different here in the second half with them?
We're going to do a couple things different. The bottom line is just take care of the ball, no penalties. We hurt ourselves a couple penalties.
Thanks, Coach. One play away. All right, Tommy.
Baldy, thank you very much. I tell you guys, we've had a chance now 2 of the last 3 years to spend time around Coach Houston Nutt, and he is a very impressive guy. You guys talked a little bit about the job he's doing as a recruiter, and if I'm a mother or father and I'm about to send my young man off to play somewhere, my kid would play for that man any day of the week.
Well, you just said it. If you send your child to Houston Nutt, he becomes back a man. I mean, Houston Nutt is a guy that helps young men become mature young men, and he teaches them more about football. He teaches them about life.
Yeah, Dave, I totally agree with you about Houston Nutt. And then on the other side of the field, you've got Bob Stoops, and what a fantastic job he's done to really return this Oklahoma football program to its sense of pride and the magnificence that they used to have in days of old, and Stoops brought it back, and he brought it back quick.
I've never seen a team more prepared to play week in and week out than Bob Stoops' team is. He is never He does not leave a stone unturned. I mean, every ounce of preparation is taken care of.
And I love it. Baldy can run down Barry Switzer. I mean, they love Barry Switzer back in Oklahoma. They love him here in Dallas.
Absolutely, they do.
I know. I love what Stoops said, though, before this game when he talked to Brian Baldinger about motivation and you know, you're coming off a season where you hope to repeat as national champions. You're in the Cotton Bowl. It's not in Pasadena. And Bob Stoops talked about the pride for his players of playing in that OU uniform, and you only get to do that so many times in your life, and so each time it needs to be special.
When you come off a national championship, you get everybody's best shot, and to be 10-2 is nothing to sneeze at. And of course, they were upset by Oklahoma State. I mean, they're the only, forget top 20, they're the only top 10 team in the country that lost to a team with a losing record. But you know, this is a fine football team. Their defense is outstanding.
Oklahoma to begin the second half. Antoine Savage from the goal line crosses the 15, hammered at the 19-yard line. Boy, there have been some serious hits in this ball game here this afternoon, early this morning. That one delivered by Jamar Gallen.
Well, Jamar Gallen, just in the whole tempo and temperament of this game, delivers a beautiful tackle right there. And these guys on special teams, Dave, they've not just been tackling, they have been just lambasting each other.
And playing off a block. I mean, he holds the blocker off with one arm and then makes the tackle a picture, textbook tackle, helmet right across the bow. Outstanding.
Get a look at the numbers for Hybl in the opening half. Most of the damage done on the one Oklahoma drive that led to the only score of the game.
Now, underneath passing was what worked well for Hybl when they did score.
Jeez, wow. Man, that's a hit.
We're about 15 floors above the field level here, and we heard that one all the way up here.
That's a nose guard hustling. That's Davis. I mean, that's a guy that lines up on the nose, and watch the pursuit and the hustle of this kid. He's off camera. He's going to come flying from the inside. Watch him make, look at that. That's a defensive nose guard lined up on the center, and he just recognized, separated from the block, and made a big hit.
Number 55, Carlos Hall, the senior's having a big game here today as well. Called his name a number of times. There's Griffin, tackled at the 28-yard line by Ken Hamlin up from his free safety position. It'll bring up third down. A late flag came in the secondary. We'll see if maybe there was a holding violation against an Oklahoma receiver. Nope, it'll go against the Hogs.
Illegal participation on the defense. 15-yard penalty.
12 men on the field.
For the previous spot. First down.
Wow, they had 12 men on the football field. And once again, you can do that in Canada, but not down here in the United States. So that's a costly penalty. Houston Nutt talked about it with Brian Baldinger, said, hey, penalties have hurt us. Two things that in that first half. Oklahoma, when they had their drive in the red zone, they scored a touchdown, did not settle for a field goal. I think that's a big, big deal as this defensive battle unfolds.
They went for it on 4th and 1, too.
Griffin, a first down carry, breaks it to the right side, slips a couple of tacklers, and he's out to the 43-yard line.
The other play that took place, I thought was huge. Holmes broke it for big yards, but he false started. He negated the biggest play of the first half for Arkansas. The guy who carried the football negated his own effort by penalty. So it's taking advantage of opportunities. Oklahoma did. Arkansas didn't quite get that done.
And they had more yards in that one carry alone that was called back than they had total yards in the first half. Griffin stopped at the 45. He'll be a couple of yards shy of the first down. Jermaine Petty, who led the Southeastern Conference in tackles, only player in the nation to win the Bronco Nagurski Defensive Player of the Week award 2 times this season.
And he's a former defensive end, defensive tackle. Played linebacker 1 year. Led the SEC in tackles.
I love how he went to Coach Houston Nutt and said, you know, he had to actually beg Houston Nutt to play him at linebacker because he was so big. They said, oh, you know, hey, you're doing good on defensive line. He said, I think I could be more effective at linebacker. Boy, what a great decision. And I'm sure everyone in Arkansas is glad that he continued to pester the coach.
3rd and 2. Hybl pushed out of the pocket. He'll get a first down as he scrambles to midfield.
Well, that time Arkansas rushed 3 and dropped 8, and the protection was outstanding because you had 5 blockers on 3 rush guys, and Hybl ended up taking all the time he could in the pocket and then took it for a first down.
Tony Bua, the injured Razorback. They have 2 of them.
Yeah, that's Harris, the safety, hurting right there.
Corey Harris, the senior out of Friendswood, Texas. So we have a timeout on the field. Oklahoma, the opening drive here in the 3rd quarter. The Sooners in front, 7-0. Teammates Corey Harris and Tony Bua colliding, making that tackle on Nick Hybl a moment ago. They didn't hit Hybl, they hit one another, both okay.
Right, Hybl just gets below, and you see the collision right there. And it looked like Harris's helmet had to jam down on his nose, and then Bua got his head snapped back pretty good.
Yeah, Bua's got a little bit of that burning sensation, that stinger feeling where you burn down your neck and one of your arms feels a little bit dead, those nerve endings. And Hybl's, he's probably thanking his lucky stars right now that he got below that contact. He wouldn't want to have been the meat of that sandwich.
Nice scramble by Hybl for the first down.
High formation by the Sooners. Play fake to Griffin. Hybl escapes the first man, but not the second. Eddie Jackson coming in from the corner blitz. All the way back to the 40, a loss of 10.
And that was huge for Arkansas's defense because I think Hybl and Oklahoma were getting the ball going. They were starting some drive. Things were working on the ground. They were working in the air. But he runs this play action pass. Eddie Jackson comes on the blitz and barely gets the sack.
Yeah, after the play action fake, Griffin was thinking about trying to pick Eddie Jackson up, but his course that he took after faking the handoff gave him no opportunity to get outside and pick Jackson off.
Hybl in trouble again, able to get away, and he'll have to take it himself out to the 45-yard line. Boy, Arkansas getting after Hybl back in the pocket. He barely has time to go 3 steps, 5 steps, plant his feet, and then he's running.
Well, that's what Coach Thompson of Arkansas wanted to do, was put confusion in Hybl's head.
Yeah, well, this will confuse anyone because they show blitz. Look at all these guys they show here. Then they drop out, then they show 3, and then you're going to see the delayed blitz right there by Harris. And that's the thing that forces Hybl out of the pocket.
I'll tell you what, that was close to a face mask right there at the conclusion of the play that wasn't called. It wasn't violent, so I don't think it was detected by the officials.
3rd and 15. Good protection this time. Hybl across the middle, and it's caught by Josh Norman inside the 20.
Outstanding pass protection by the Oklahoma offensive line.
Not only the offensive line, Griffin, the diminutive tailback, did a tremendous job in blitz pickup.
Diminutive? I don't think he'd be happy to be called that.
In terms of being 5'7", not a big guy, but he fitted up great in that blitz pickup.
How about Josh Norman? Does a fantastic job. The ball's thrown a little behind him, but he uses that big tight end frame to twist around and make an excellent catch.
Chuck Long going long over the top.
At the 20, first down, Sooners. There's a bullet right there to the freshman Clayton. But played nicely by Jackson. Got down, let's see where they spot it. 13-yard line.
Tremendously encouraging for the Oklahoma offensive coaches, though, that Hybl, after the sack, being off schedule, 2nd and 20, overcomes it. And here they are in the red zone for the 2nd time. First time in the red zone, scored a touchdown.
Well, we've seen that the only way to move the ball against this Arkansas defense that crowds the line of scrimmage there is to get the passing game going, and Nate Hybl's got it going right now.
2nd and 5. Griffin wrapped up behind the line of scrimmage by Jermaine Brooks. That'll be a loss of nearly 4 yards, so it'll bring up 3rd down for the Sooners at the 17-yard line.
Jermaine Brooks leads the Arkansas Razorbacks in tackle for loss, and he just chalked up another one. Serious penetration disruption on his part and tackle behind the line of scrimmage. Big play. Equivalent to a quarterback sack. You know, everybody, the quarterback sack, sexy, but tackles for loss, you're throwing offenses off schedule equally as well.
Out of the shotgun, Hybl. Throws to the end zone. And too high for his tight end, Trent Smith. He could have thrown that underhand to Smith for a touchdown. He was that open.
Eddie Jackson comes way too far off his coverage. Watch him here, and he's thinking, well, I've got a tight end. You know, he's a big guy. He's not going to get behind me. Well, he's way behind you, Eddie.
Well, it was a double move. Eddie had underneath, and he had help over the top, and Trent Smith double moved. And you know what? Trent Smith catches that ball a bunch of times, but in this cold weather, just could not quite come down with that one.
It's a bad throw. Guys,
it was not a sound enough throw. You're absolutely right.
The only help he had was coming from the free safety in the center of the field.
32-yard field goal attempt by Duncan. And he hammers it right down the middle. Well, Oklahoma, which led 7-0 at halftime, chews up nearly 8 minutes on its opening drive to take a 10-0 lead. We've had a terrific week leading up to this SBC Cotton Bowl New Year's Day. If you don't believe us, just ask some of the players how things have gone the last 5 days here in Dallas.
We've been treated as good, if not, better than any bowl I've been to.
I just really enjoyed everything. I mean, they just so nice, they take care of you. And there's not one thing that stick out because they all fun.
It's hard not to say the food because we have been treated. And we've gone and eaten at some great places, some great food.
I remember Christopher. He was a young child, Hispanic, and I didn't know what was wrong with him, but he challenged me a game to Mario Karts, Nintendo 64, but the other controller didn't work, but he was ready to play me. I think he would have got me, but I would have given him a little challenge.
Roy Williams, one of the great players, but also one of the great people here. And we, too, at Fox have really enjoyed the hospitality of Rick Baker and Fred McClure and everyone else at the Cotton Bowl. What a fantastic week we've had.
Top shelf.
From the 1-yard line to Corey Birmingham. Hit hard down at the 24-yard line by number 28, Antonio Perkins. Let's go downstairs to Brian Bolding.
Next time, I'm joined here by the president and CEO of SBC Southwestern Bell, Forrest Miller. And Forrest, I look around here and I see the pageantry. The stands are full. It's a great game. You got to love the tradition here of the Cotton Bowl.
It's been a great week, and thanks to Fox for conveying that tradition and the history of this event. We're really grateful to the Big 12 and the SEC for providing such great teams, strong teams, and great fans year after year.
Why is SBC Southwestern Bell so committed to this Cotton Bowl game?
Well, we've done business in the heartland here in the telephone business for over a century now, and we work hard to be engaged with our communities, and we in the Cotton Bowl share a real commitment to higher education, and 3/4 of every dollar raised in this game gets reinvested in higher education.
And Forrest, finally, you started off as just serving the heartland, and now certainly it would be fair to say that you're much more than that. You're a national phone company.
Yeah, we've got business coast to coast, got some great brand names, SBC Southwestern Bell, SNET, Ameritech, and Pacific Bell, expanding into lots of new products, long distance, high-speed internet access with DSL. So, it's a great time for us. We're really focused on customer service. It's an exciting time in our business and a great day today.
Thanks a lot, Forrest, for joining us. Tom, back up to you.
Brian, thank you. And Rocky Calmus sacks Zach Clark all the way back at the 15.
Well, the Arkansas offense just got that Oklahoma 1-2 punch. It was Roy Williams on the last play. And on this play here, it's Rocky Calmus, Oklahoma's 2 superstar defenders, both of them in Zach Clark's face in consecutive plays.
Yeah, the Butkus Award winner makes this play, the best linebacker in the land, and Rocky Calmus gets the sack. And you're right, Roy Williams caused the incompletion by hitting Zach in the quarterback right between the shoulder blades and making him throw it high.
And here they come again. And down he goes again. This time the sophomore Wilkerson gets in on the act.
Wow. I really like Wilkerson's speed off the edge.
Tell you what, every single defensive player on this Oklahoma unit is more than capable.
Watch Wilkerson. Watch him working right here.
Let's twist. Rocky Calmus gets in the gap, and he's the penetrator, and Wilkerson goes underneath him as the looper and gets the sack. Nice job by Rocky Calmus grabbing two.
Richie Butler able to get it away, and not signaling a fair catch is Fagan, and we have our 4th Halo infraction of the game.
Well, I don't know. I thought he started to signal the fair catch. I saw that hand go up.
So you think that's what the penalty is? Maybe he's signaling fair catch and returning the football illegally? Could be.
Kick catch interference on a kicking team. 2-yard radius. 5-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
Well, both teams have invaded the halo, so both teams are a little devilish in their punt coverage. There's no question about that.
Oklahoma has invaded the Arkansas offense. 7 sacks. We're in the 3rd quarter. The 4th-ranked defense in the land. 7 sacks already in the game today.
And the Stars have contributed. Roy Williams has 2. Rocky Calmus has 1. I mean, they've come from all directions, and there's been stunting up front, twisting by the defensive linemen, blitzing linebackers, blitzing members of the secondary. I mean, the pressures come from everywhere. And right now, Arkansas's offensive line is tentative in their blitz pickup responsibilities, and it's really hurting the quarterbacks.
That's total domination we've seen, and I think when Arkansas gets the ball back, they got to go back to Matt Jones. I know it didn't work the first time, but I think Jones is their big playmaker, and if they're going to pull this out, they need some big plays, or maybe they're going to have to rely on their defense to try to come up with a turnover, an interception for a touchdown of their own.
The 7 sacks ties the bowl record for the Oklahoma Sooners. Strangely enough, the last time they had that many in a bowl game, the Orange Bowl in '87 against Arkansas. Griffin breaking tackles all the way to the 21, dragged down by Harris, but a penalty flag on the play.
Well, the shovel pass has been very, very good to Oklahoma in their little run here. National championship last year and this season as well.
Well, it's the first time we've seen it today, and I think that's what made it so effective. But the holding penalty is going to bring that ball back
from the spot of the hold.
Spot, so
right.
it's not going to be all the way back.
Holding on the offense. 10-year penalty from the spot of the foul. Repeat. First down.
It's going to be 1st and 4. Kind of an odd situation. 1st and 4 because of the spot foul.
This play looks like a pass. It's got pass written all over it. So when the Arkansas defenders come upfield, they get on top of this shovel pass. And then you see Quentin Griffin's great elusiveness.
Well, he broke a tackle by Petty, then broke a tackle in the secondary. Well, I'll tell you what, he made a lot of that. A lot of yards after first contact there.
Griffin again, and he's inside the 30, down to the 28-yard line. Griffin, a native Texan out of Aldine, Texas, just away from Austin. Hard to believe the Longhorns never even sent a letter of inquiry about Quentin Griffin, never recruited him. And then you may remember last season, Griffin scored 6 touchdowns against Texas in one game.
Payback can be tough. No question about that.
Oklahoma's offense is starting to wear down this defense. Now they show that blitz there, and Hibble checked it off. Not quick enough.
No. Hammered from behind by Raymond House.
Well, the guy that makes all the calls for Oklahoma's offensive line is Duncan, the left guard. And he was upright, trying to communicate calls to all the offensive linemen. But even with all that being done, watch Duncan right here. Watch him. He'll start to make some calls. Too late. Blitz pickup is executed, but gets off of Griffin for the sack.
Yeah, Griffin missed the block a little bit on that one. And another important play for Arkansas's defense to stop this drive and keep their team in this football game.
2nd and 20. Good protection this time for Hibble. He drops it off to Norman. Covered ball. Fleeing the ball is loose. And picking it up and then falling down was Carlos Hall. There was no one between Hall and the end zone.
Boy, and that's the big play that you're looking for if you're Arkansas. Take away by the defense.
This is what Arkansas needed. And Jermaine Petty is the guy, remember, the defensive lineman who becomes a linebacker.
He rips it out of there.
Tackle, pops the ball loose, and Carlos Hall gets the first turnover for Arkansas today.
Norman tried to slam on the brakes and cut inside of Petty, and Petty just engulfed him and ripped the ball out of there.
Now let's see if Arkansas's offense can do something. So far today, they have been smothered by this strong Oklahoma defense.
Take a break. Arkansas get it, and a chance to get back in it in a moment. Well, now the 2002 has arrived. We're racing our way towards year 2 of NASCAR on Fox. Coming your way a month from now. We start in Rockingham, North Carolina.
Just the thing to cure the hangover after the football season ends, though. You know, I mean, after this football's over,
well, you got to get one hangover before another one.
Well, you kind of get the headache. You're feeling slouchy, and hey, there comes NASCAR on Fox.
That's right.
You know, pick you up in February.
I think Arkansas's offense thinks that Oklahoma's a bunch of NASCAR cars out there. They're so fast. I mean, I think they're experiencing NASCAR speed out there right now.
Arkansas sticking with Zach Clark, and they'll go on the ground to Brandon Holmes and just know where to go. Roy Williams again coming all the way up from his safety spot. You know, you brought up a little while ago, Tim, and I certainly think after our conversation with Roy Williams a few days ago, they talk about a big heart on the field that Williams plays with. You could tell he has a huge heart off the field. He was sincerely moved by being around so many of those children when they visited the local hospitals that clearly are struggling at best right now.
Yeah, that guy is a real hero and a guy that everyone should look up to.
Out to the 45, Everidge and Lehman coming up to make the tackle on Holmes.
I'm sorry, but I'm still looking for Matt Jones, because Arkansas has got to make something happen. They've got to get a first down. They need to take a chance, and what they're doing right now, the conventional two-back offense and drop-back pass, it is not working against this defense.
I think
the thing is, Lap, is that Arkansas's defense, they've held up okay, but they've spent way too much time on the field. All Arkansas's offense has done is 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out.
Right. Let's see what happens after this play. I got a thought on Jones.
Arkansas has not converted a third down yet. 0 for 8. Clark looking around for somebody, and he just has to step out of bounds. No gain.
I think the deal with Jones is he's a young kid, a true freshman. He was slated to play like 3/4 of the time by game plan. I think you get out there and the speed of Oklahoma's defense and the different looks that they were giving him may have confused him a little bit. He may have come to the sideline a little wide-eyed, and the coaches want to go with the more experienced quarterback to not make mistakes. But Jones can get them out of pocket, change the launch point, give him a run-pass option, make some plays.
Well, that play right there is a perfect example.
Right.
Jones takes off and a legitimate chance to get a first down.
Right.
So it's 3 and out after the big turnover. Fagan slips one tackler, and then he's dragged down at the 15, and that's where Oklahoma will put it in play with 3:47 to play in the third quarter. 47-yard punt, 3-yard return back to Dallas, Texas. Well, the numbers are mind-boggling. With 3:47 to play here in the third quarter, 31 plays have been run by the Arkansas offense. It has a grand total of 11 yards total offense. The quarterbacks have been sacked 7 times.
That's right. We talk about Zach Clark and the trouble he's had, but anyone would have trouble standing back there in the pocket with Oklahoma Sooners coming at you like fireworks.
And I think Bob Stoops and his coaching staff deserves a lot of credit. People were worried about a hangover from that Oklahoma State loss. Defensively, no hangover at all now. They're coming after him.
And Hibble's been pretty good, too.
Absolutely.
He's shown some good passing today. Not great, but pretty good.
Ronaldo Works finds a hole that closes quickly. And he's out to the 16. That's a nice play right there by Eddie Jackson, who's having a solid game.
Ronaldo Works is a sophomore that's a little bit longer body than Griffin. I think he's a home run threat. He reminds me of Robert Smith a little bit, the great all-pro that recently retired from the Minnesota Vikings. This kid, long arms, long legs, tremendous speed.
Yeah.
I think he's a playmaker.
He's a strong runner, and that's what makes Eddie Jackson's tackle that much more impressive. And as Tom said, You know, we've seen Jackson make a lot of nice tackles today, and Arkansas's defense has been pretty sound. They're keeping them in this football game with an abysmal offense.
Hibble in and out of the hands. That one just dropped by Trent Smith. You'll rarely see that from the big All-American tight end.
You know, one thing we've seen from Nate Hibble, though, is on almost all of his crossing routes, he's throwing behind his receiver. And the receivers are having to stretch back to catch them. And we saw Trent Smith catch one of these balls thrown behind him earlier. You see that there?
Right. He did a full pivot
this time. And, you know, we've seen a lot of that today.
I think he saw the safety on the other side of Smith and tried to throw it right at him, and it ended up behind him.
Big play for the Arkansas defense, 3rd and 8. And Hibble able to stay on his feet, headed towards a sideline, diving in an attempt to get to the first down marker, and he is short. Well, so a good defensive stand there by Arkansas.
Corey Harris should have sacked him. I mean, Corey Harris has him dead to rights in the backfield, and Hibble just pivots right away from a very, very short tackler. Here comes Harris and pressures Hibble. Harris works badly on blitz pickup, and Hibble just absolutely spins away from him. Very athletic, very strong move.
I've been impressed with Hibble's ability to scramble. Not so much the run after the scramble, but he has avoided a couple sacks today that a lot of quarterbacks would have gone down.
Ferguson, a punt from his own 10. Short punt. Not sure if someone got a hand on that.
I agree. I think it was deflected.
And it takes an Arkansas bounce, and the Razorbacks are going to get the ball inside Sooner territory at the 43. That's a 21-yard punt. Was it blocked?
I thought I heard a double thump. I thought I heard a second contact after the ball left the foot. Maybe I'm wrong, but I thought I heard a second sound. Either that or he just shank you very much, but it looked like he got his left hand on the football a little bit. To me, it looks like Follett got his hand up there and got a little piece of it. And they're talking about the protection problem and getting the ball off quicker.
Here we go. They give it off to Fred Talley, the first time we have called his name today. The second team All Southeast Conference performer, rushed for better than over 800 yards this season, 4 100-yard games.
They're trying everything, and they're getting nothing. As Brandon Moore just fought off a block, the linebacker, and made the tackle right there at the line of scrimmage. And again, I just think if nothing's working and nothing is, you need to try a trick play, or you need to get Jones in here and let him run around.
2nd and 9. Towards the corner and out of bounds is George Wilson.
Good throw. Pretty good throw.
Good catch, too.
And decent enough coverage where it ran out of real estate. Tommy Harris got the pressure, not quite enough pressure. Didn't hit the quarterback before the release of the football, but made him throw it just a skosh early, right on the line. His left foot's on the line. You have to get one foot in bounds in college football.
But that foot was on the line.
Yeah, it's on the line. And really, all you have to do is get one in, but he can't be on the chalk. And then that left foot, those toes were definitely on the chalk. Good call.
Real nice pass by Zach Clark, and now Jones is in the game.
On 3rd down, and this is why, because he can run. But he's not going to run through Brandon Everidge.
He looked tentative to me. He looked a little tentative.
Yeah, you got to go for it here, don't you?
Yeah.
I mean, I know we're only in the 3rd quarter,
Absolutely.
but you've done nothing.
No, they will go for it. You know, Lap, I think you put your finger on it earlier when you said that, you know, Matt Jones has not seen a defense this fast.
No way.
You know, and so he's out there running in space, doing what he's done all season, but he's not seen the defenders come at him as quickly and as relentlessly as this Oklahoma defense.
They can close now.
4th and 7. They run the option, and leaning ahead and appearing to be shy of the first down is Jones.
Wow, just a little bit short. 6'6", but couldn't get the ball all the way out there over that 6'6" frame. That's a big defensive stand for Oklahoma, negating the turnover, the fumble. That's equivalent. That is equal to a fumble right there. If you hold on 4 downs, that's like a takeaway. It's just the exact same thing. So they lose the football, Their offense gives it away, but they basically have a defensive takeaway by holding on down.
Who do you think made the play to stop that series? Rocky Calmus. Should be of no surprise to anyone. Watch him here. He's the guy right there. Finds his way through this thing. He's not fooled by the quarterback keep.
First down carry to Griffin, and Miller and Petty come up to make the tackle.
The thing that has impressed me, a bunch of things have impressed me about both these defenses, but one that has really impressed, their ability to separate from blocks. I mean, they get off blocks so well and close to the football so quickly, it's astounding. I mean, they're blocked for a millisecond before they separate and go.
I'm impressed at Arkansas's defense's resilience. They just keep coming. They're getting almost nothing from their offense, but they keep playing hard.
Good call there on a shovel pass, and a flag goes down. They may take this first down reception away from Griffin.
They got the big freshman center Carter for holding in the open field in the middle of the football field. I think that's going to be a spot foul once again. It's not going to negate the play, but from where he held is where they'll mark off the 10-yard penalty.
This Oklahoma Sooner team, we talked about Arkansas looking ahead of the next year or two.
Holding on the offense. 10-yard penalty. Repeat. Second down.
But you look at what the Sooners have coming back everywhere on the field next year. I don't think there's any question about it. They may be the #1 ranked preseason team in the nation next year.
Well, I think for both of these teams have a lot of young players. Look at now, Oklahoma only has 12 seniors. Look at all the freshmen. And Arkansas has played 10 true freshmen. Bowl, 19 extra practices can do nothing but help young football teams.
Second down, and they just drop it off to Griffin again. And there's that closing ability by the Arkansas defense. It looked like Griffin might have a little bit of room. Nothing doing, says Hamlin and Petty again.
Tim, how many times have you seen somebody have to make a one-on-one open field tackle? There's always been a bunch of helmets around the football.
And the times that they have had to make the open field tackles,
done it.
The Arkansas has done it.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. It's been, both these defenses are training reels. I mean, you take a tape of this football game, either defense, and show young high school and younger players this is how you play defense.
Fox Sports will return to the SBC Cotton Bowl after a break from your local station. It's 10-0 Oklahoma as we prepare for the final 15 minutes in Big D.
The SBC Cotton Bowl Classic is brought to you by SBC. We're on it. By Visa, it's everywhere you want to be. By DirecTV, the #1 satellite entertainment provider. And by Aflac. Ask about it at work.
The national championship a season ago, #1 Oklahoma, 10.5-point underdog to #2 Florida State. All defense for the Sooners, forcing 3 turnovers, 2 of them interceptions on Chris Henke by the MVP Torrance Marshall here. And then in the 4th, Quentin Griffin's 10-yard touchdown run gave the Sooners their 7th national championship. They won it 13-2. And their defense has been every bit as good again. 1 year later in this SBC Cotton Bowl, and there's a sack on 3rd down.
That's a great play by Carlos Hall. Arkansas only rushes 3 men, so they can drop 8 guys into coverage, and that takes away Nate Hibble's targets downfield. So watch him. There's just 3 guys here, and you see that coverage downfield, nowhere to go. And Carlos Hall comes up with a big sack.
What he did was he came inside late because he saw a guard inside to help initially, took it up the field, then came inside late. The guard was no factor.
And you saw Sasha Lancaster getting in on that sack as well, a 2-way player for Arkansas. Good punt right there. And Marvin Jackson fields and brings it out to the 33-yard line. 44-yard punt, and the tackle made by Rocky Calmus, the first guy down to cover the punt.
A lot of starters play on special teams for both these teams.
We thought for a moment that Nate Hibble was shaking up on that last sack a moment ago. Apparently he's all right.
Well, he took a heck of a shot here. There's Carlos Hall.
Little helmet, little spear right there, and Hibble's in agony. We get that big flak jacket on, all that protection. In the NFL, though, boy, that's a penalty. You can't spear the quarterback like that on Sunday.
Brett Talley breaks a couple of tackles, and he's out to the 39-yard line. Good pickup there by Talley as the fourth quarter is underway here at the SBC Cotton Bowl in Oklahoma, leading 10-0.
Well, coming into this game, Arkansas thought they might be able to go straight at this Oklahoma defense and pound the ball at them. They have not been able to do that, so they've brought in Talley to give them a little more quickness at the tailback position.
Talley tries to bring it to the outside, and Kalmus, the second man, they're able to trip him up shy of the first half.
Dave, you've been talking about Rocky Kalmus all game long and how mentally tuned in to the offense he is. Let's take a look at him right here and what he does on this play.
Well, he distorts the offensive line's blocking angles because of his speed. I mean, he makes you flatten out and can't get him blocked. Roy Williams lost contain, but because of his speed and the recovery ability speed of Williams, they still get involved in the play. They can recover even if they take the wrong course. It's unbelievable.
Arkansas is 0 for 10 converting on third down. And there's their first third down conversion to get a first down in a game today. And look at the reaction by Talley.
Talley shows a little pop as well as some quickness. And that was really nice blocking up front by Arkansas's offensive line. Watch the blocking here, and you're going to see a nice hole open up. And then Talley uses his acceleration to get upfield, and then pow.
Nice block by the fullback, Lancaster, as well. He's played offense and defense today, the two-way guy.
First down in midfield. And they'll give it to Talley again, and not this time.
And I think the danger they're having right now, Arkansas, is they've got nothing going. They have no passing game established whatsoever. So as soon as they get Talley going a little bit on the run game, Oklahoma's been crowding the line of scrimmage. Now they've got Matt Jones out there, and we'll see if he can bring a little bit of a change up to this offense. Playing man-to-man on the edges on those wide receivers.
First man through is Mark Pierce, and the true freshman tripped up by Hollyman, the senior out of Oklahoma City.
Trying to hit Oklahoma real quickly, trying to find a crease with that fullback Pierce, and just trying to hit the line of scrimmage as quickly as possible and see if they could gash Oklahoma up to the task. Third down once again. In the second half all season long, Oklahoma's only given up 18%.
Oklahoma is putting everyone up here at the line of scrimmage, and the cornerbacks are man-to-man on the outside.
Pierce again, the first man through, and he's close to a first down.
But instead of playing press, Tim, they were giving cushion, weren't they? I mean, they were giving like about 8 or 10 yards.
That's right. And they're almost begging Arkansas to throw the football, but Arkansas's got this option thing going here with Mark Pierce on the inside. See, look at this here.
Big
there's man-to-man here, man-to-man. As you said, there's a huge cushion there.
Right.
And that begs for, you know, a little slant pattern or a little dig. I gotta believe that that'll be the next step for Arkansas. Well, not now, because it's a short yardage. Now is when you got to just punch through.
And it's fourth down.
It's fourth down. They didn't convert on third down again. In Oklahoma for the season, guys, in the second half, only giving up 18% on third down conversion. And the other thing about Oklahoma, all year long, they had only given up 16 points in the third quarter. They pitched a shutout in this one today. This defense is phenomenal for the Sooners.
Biggest play of the game for Arkansas. Down 10-0 with 11:51 to play in the game. It's fourth and a yard. They were unable to convert fourth down their last drive. And it looks like they got it this time.
Well, when you have a 6'6" quarterback, if you get any push at all, just let him fall forward.
Yeah, but you know what? You really have to credit Kenny Sandlin, the center. He's the senior leader. He's the captain of this team. And watch what he does. When they need it most, here's Sandlin right in the center. And look at the surge he gives his quarterback. Watch it here. He gets up under, and there's a surge by the Arkansas offensive line of the likes of which we have not seen today.
Big wedge blocking.
Option. They faked it to Pierce. Jones hung onto it, and Lehman read it beautifully. And a flag. It's going to be against Oklahoma.
I wonder if they're going to call a late hit or unnecessary roughness. I didn't.
Dead ball, personal foul.
Wow.
On the defense. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. Automatic first down.
That's what you don't want to see happen. Bob Stoops upset that somebody lost their poise out on the football field. They called that hit right there, personal foul.
I think it's that, there it is, it's that forearm right there on Matt Jones's head by Moore. And that's the call by the officials, and I think it's a good call because there's no place for that in the game of football.
Trying to intimidate. Moore's trying to intimidate the freshman Jones, and he get caught doing it.
Ball at the 22-yard line. Jones cuts it back inside, able to avoid Kalmus, who's really upset with himself.
Matt Jones is having some success here running this option, and Arkansas's offense is starting to work. But I think that I've seen Jones play a lot more with a lot more abandon in games before this. I still think that he's a little awestruck by the speed of this Oklahoma defense.
He is. I agree. I think he's definitely tentative, and I think it was an adjustment.
But he seems like he's getting better and better.
This time he's going to roll left, roll right, throw to the end zone, and complete a dangerous pass there. That was very good coverage by Antonio Perkins.
That was a play where Jones really needed to run. He really needed to use his speed instead of going for it all in the end zone, because the coverage was there. And he almost gets this thing intercepted, but you see, once he gets to the corner, there's no one else defending to keep him from picking up a first down on the ground.
Once he finishes maturing, he's going to be about a 235-pound quarterback. He's going to be unbelievable.
3rd and 4. Jones keeps it himself. He'll be denied the first down by Rocky Kalmus and Teddy Lehman.
I'll tell you what, Rocky Kalmus, I've seen him play quite a bit. His ability to diagnose is second to none. I mean, he makes the first hit. In part of it's study, there's no doubt. He looks at a lot of game tape, but a big part of it is just instincts and nose for the football. He's remarkable.
Well, that was the only drive that we've seen from Arkansas, a sustained drive all day long, and they did it with Matt Jones at quarterback.
33-yard try by Brennan O'Donohoe, and it is good. So Arkansas on the board with 9:44 to go. And now, again, only one big play away from tying this game up. They've been dominated. In some ways, they've been humiliated. But they're still in it. And a long way to go. Oklahoma 10, Arkansas 3 with 9:46 to play here at the SBC Cotton Bowl. We figured on a low-scoring affair. Both defenses have been fabulous.
It has been a clinic for defensive football. It really has. I mean, there's so much speed, so much ability, but they're so well coached, and they execute exactly what's asked of them every single snap, both of these defenses.
Look at this offense today. The first 10 drives gave Arkansas 19 yards. The last drive, they got 37.
Well, Arkansas has been the comeback team this season. That one dangerously fielded at the 18-yard line. The Razorbacks began the year with a win over UNLV, lost 3 in a row. They were 1-3. And if someone would have told Houston Nutt his team was going to a New Year's Day bowl game, he might have told him, you're out of your mind. But Kenny Sandlin said Coach Nutt brought the team together, and they've stuck together like a family.
He said after the Georgia game.
I think it actually started during 2 days where we roomed together. And, you know, Coach Nutt was great about letting some of the captains, myself and Kurt Davis, put the roommates together, and he specifically told us, don't let buddies room together. So, I mean, we put black with white. We put offense with defense. We put scout team with a starter. You know, I mean, just mixed it up, and you said, you know what, we're going to become a family.
And I tell you, we have talked so much about this Oklahoma defense. This Arkansas defense, time after time after time, put on the field, but making big plays.
I think they've got to be really, really inspired by the fact that their offense finally got something going here. Watch Miller right here, Caleb Miller. He comes up, he redirects, he makes a tackle, and he's got a lot of speed for a linebacker. Miller with 5 interceptions on the season.
Hibble throws. Caught by Savage. Did he come down inbounds?
Well, they're going to talk about it.
Are they going to call it a force out?
Right. They're going to talk about it. If he could have come down with 1 foot in bounds,
no catch.
They're saying no catch.
This might be a break for Arkansas.
What a hit.
It looked like he would have come down in bounds.
Yeah, Savage goes airborne. He's going to come down in bounds easily. He almost came down in bounds anyway.
But how about Kenny Hamlin and the big hitting ability that he has? I mean, it's a heck of a hit, but I think this is a missed call by the officials, and Bob Stoops has got to be hot.
I'll tell you, Savage got taken 3 yards sideways by that hit by Hamlin. He's in bounds by 1.5 yards easily.
Let's see what kind of they've got to bring some kind of heat, wouldn't you expect? Some kind of blitz.
And here they come. Harris off the corner. They pick him up. They dump it over the middle. Norman on the reception, but I don't think he got to the first down mark.
He's about a half yard short.
Going to be very close.
And there's Caleb Miller again.
Well, he's about a half yard short, I think. And you can't, obviously, it's 1-score game. If he's short at all, you got to punt it away with this field position. And it seemed to me that he was.
I don't know. Bob Stoops may just, I don't know.
Look at it. Bob Stoops is still livid about that call.
Hot. He's hot. And he is going to take the safer road, try to kick this away. Hey, if you've got Oklahoma's defense, I think that may not be a bad move at all.
I think that's an easy call with that defense. I agree with that.
That defense can not only stop people, they can score points.
Low line drive punt. Marvin Jackson from his own 30. What a tackle by Perkins. The ball is loose. No, they're saying the ground caused the fumble.
Roy Williams.
Yeah, that was Roy Williams covering that punt.
You talk about starters. We've seen Rocky Kelmus and Roy Williams, the 2 award-winning defenders, also having a huge impact on special teams for Oklahoma. They lead 10-3.
Bob Stoops still really upset with this Big Ten officiating crew working our SBC Cotton Bowl.
Well, is this a fumble or not? Roy Williams comes and rakes the ball out of there with the right hand. Is the butt down before the ball's out? I don't think so. I think it's a fumble. And then look at Brandon Everidge come up with the football. Hustles. Arkansas almost has it. Everidge falls on top of it. Should have been Oklahoma football, and Bobby Stoops feels exactly that way.
Well, I think
ball's out.
He's got to feel badly about that call. Worse than bad, but and also there was a call earlier, a catch that really should have been called a force out. It would have given Oklahoma a first down, and Bob Stoops is not happy at all. So 2 critical calls here late in the game.
Savage had the reception on the sideline, got knocked out of bounds by Hamlin, and they said that he wouldn't have made the catch if Hamlin hadn't hit him. Well, he would have. He would have come down in bounds, and then no fumble. So he's 0 for 2 and Matt
Jones, the quarterback.
All right, here we go. Arkansas with the football, and the quarterback is Matt Jones.
Broken play.
Everybody confused there.
Okay.
And Talley able to maybe get back to the line of scrimmage. Let's go down to Brian Baldinger.
Yeah, hey, Tom, I've been watching Matt Jones all game. This is one cool customer. On the sidelines coming off the field, he picks up the phone like he's talking to his mom. Nobody's ruffled here on the sideline. The motion is all with Arkansas right now, and he is running that huddle like he's been here in his 4th year.
Well, he went the wrong way on that particular play, though. He broke the assignment there. He reverse pivoted out the wrong way.
2nd and 10. They hand it off to Talley. They fake it there, try to come back the other way. And look at Roy Williams.
Amazing.
The nation's top defender, the Thurp Award winner, the Bronco Nagurski Award winner, and the 2-time first-team All-American makes another play.
You're running a trick play at the wrong man, folks. If you go at this guy here, look at it. There it is. And he just zeroes in. And look at that.
His size-speed ratio is off the charts. But to complement that, tremendous football intelligence.
He gets extra points, too, for grand amplitude, doesn't he? In wrestling, if you toss a guy above your hips, you score extra points. And Williams scored points on that tackle.
Zach Clark right back in there. They try to set up the screen to Cobbs, and nothing doing. So the Oklahoma defense stands tall.
Well, when the game's on the line, as they say, the great players make big plays. And Roy Williams has made more than one of those today. This guy is special. You know, they compare him to Ronnie Lott. And I think that's a sound comparison. And I also think that he's like Ronnie Lott off the field.
Fagan chased back to the 40. Tackled at the 42 after a 39-yard punt. Well, a lot of Oklahoma fans wondering if this is the final college game for Roy Williams. He says he'll make up his mind at the end of the season.
I think he's coming out.
Happy New Year to you and yours. Certainly no New Year's Day hangover for Laura Shields of Texarkana, Texas. She's the winner of our SBC Cotton Bowl Classic sweepstakes. She's on her way to Pasadena, California.
How about that? And there's another Stoops coaching out there for the national championship game, Mark Stoops. Bobby and Mike Stoops' younger brother coaches defensive backs for the Hurricanes, so the Stoops family heavily involved in the bowl action.
Laura Shields, congratulations. Who knows? She may be dropping in to watch that. Right. 10-3, Oklahoma in front, 6:18 to go, and the Sooners going to try and chew up some time on the clock. Griffin met immediately, maybe picked up a yard by Kurt Davis. Kurt Davis, another of the captains on this Arkansas team, the marketing management major. Today, his 40th career game started.
That's big time. That's durability right there. That's answering the bell every week.
Swinging out to Smith, the tight end. And he will come up shy of the first down by 2 yards. And again, Kurt Davis coming from the defensive line all the way out near the sidelines to drag down Smith.
He's a little woozy after that hit, but boy, did he hustle.
Well, Harris makes a nice play coming up, and there's some good blocking out here by the other wide receivers. See that there? So Smith's got a pretty decent hole to run through, and then Harris comes up and gets the first hit to slow him down, and then Carlos Hall, who has been all over the field today, finishes him off.
Big play for Oklahoma, 3rd and 2. Play fake wide open is Norman, and he's got it down to the 37. First down, Oklahoma.
Great call by Chuck Long, a naked bootleg. All the action by the offensive line and the backs go to the right. Watch, everything goes to the right. Quarterback comes out to the left, and he's got a receiver. Flow of the defense. Little drag pass by Trent Smith. He's got his primary out in the edge. Nice effort.
Dave, we saw that 3rd down. There's Chuck Long, and we saw him run the same play on a 3rd down conversion earlier in the game where they threw that bootleg pass to the tight end, Trent Smith. That play, that 1st down, led to ultimately the only touchdown we've seen in this game.
No doubt.
Oh, the ball comes loose.
How about that?
And let's see who got it. It looked like Griffin covered it up himself. He did.
Yeah, and you never know in this game. You never know where the mishap's going to take place. They've run that play a million times. just a handoff. Hibble to Griffin. Underneath handoff. Here's Griffin's going to come underneath and hits the ball. The ball, instead of in the belly, hits him in the shoulder pads, trying to make the exchange, and it lurches forward.
I still say it, Dave. If Arkansas is going to pull off this upset, they need a big play. They need some kind of a huge turnover, an interception or a sack for a fumble, something.
What a hit delivered right there on Griffin by Jermaine Petty in this his final game at Arkansas.
And I think he'll be a guy we'll see around the National Football League next year. He has the size and he has the instincts. And on this play here, you get to see his hitting ability, his tackling ability. Look at him close and whap.
Oh, man, right under the chin. That's a way to finish right there. You know, you talk about finishing plays, finishing blocks, finishing tackles. That was finished.
Arkansas spending a timeout. The Razorbacks have 2 left in the game.
Let's take a look at some of the things Jermaine Petty has done not only today, but this season for the Arkansas Razorbacks. He has been formidable.
The leading tackler.
That's his first interception of his career. He took back 88 yards for a touchdown.
Wow, he took it back quick too.
Yeah, he had some wheels, doesn't he? That's when he finished. He was out of air. Go to the sideline for oxygen after that 88-yard return.
The SBC Cotton Bowl trophy.
And you'll be
Fred Scoville trophy.
You'll be presenting that to the winning coach after the ball game.
I will. And it looks like that will be Bob Stoops, but who knows? I mean, this is a big 3rd down right here for Oklahoma.
And it's a long 3rd down. It's 3rd and 13, not an easy conversion, particularly with Arkansas, all the different looks they give you.
Yeah, and as we've said earlier, Arkansas's offense finally seemed to have found a little bit of life, a little bit of an ability to move the ball. They had the one drive this half where they took it down and got a field goal, and a lot of that drive was because of the running abilities of Matt Jones.
And I think if they get something positive on 3rd down and it's 4th and 5 or less, Bob Stoops may think about going for it with this field position if he gets inside the 35-yard line.
4 receivers set. Griffin the lone setback, and out of the shotgun it's Hibble. A little shovel pass again to Griffin, and he will be denied the first down. Okay, there's what you're talking about,
I think
Dave.
you go. I mean,
32-yard line.
I have confidence in my defense. If I don't kick the ball and kill it inside the 20, I only pick up 12 yards of field position. They get the ball at the 20-yard line. I think it's too long a field goal attempt under these weather conditions. I think this is 4-down territory right here.
That's the one thing. You talk to Oklahoma fans and those who follow Oklahoma football, and they'll tell you just when you think Stoops is going to do one thing, he'll do something different.
Absolutely. What's he going to do here? It looks like he's going to kick it. He's going to punt the football.
He's going to send out his field goal kicker to maybe just pooch punt here.
I don't think there are too many people in Oklahoma or elsewhere that are.
You got to think this over. Call timeout and think it over. Discuss it a little bit.
I think whatever Bob Stoops does, his track record speaks for itself. He is an outstanding coach, and they're in control of this game right now, mostly because of their defense.
Don't forget, another full day of action coming up this week in the NFL, beginning with the undisputed champion of pregame shows, Fox NFL Sunday. And then Brett Favre and the playoff-bound Packers battle the Giants. Or Chris Chandler and the Falcons try to stop Marshall Faulk and the high-flying Rams, or the regional action. Coverage begins noon Eastern, 9 Pacific on Fox. So what do you do here?
Well, I go for it. I mean, I don't think Bob Stoops is going to do it, so it's not second guessing, but he's going to try to kick the field goal. But boy, this is, in my opinion, a little bit dicey in these weather conditions. This is going to be a 49-yard attempt.
And his long for the year is 47. He has the wind at his back. And look out for the fake or a pooch punt. We saw Duncan do that in this stadium against Texas.
Not even close.
I'm not sure what happened there. It almost looked like a divot, like his foot hit the ground before it ever touched the ball.
And now, you know, what do you gain by that? That, you know, and I'm not second guessing. Bob Stoops is a great football coach, and I'm not. But, you know, it's a tough field. He slipped a little bit on his approach. You can see him slip sliding around, and he kicks the top half of the football. You know, watch how high up in the ball he kicks. He doesn't, actually, like you said, he almost mishit it underneath, like double dribble.
Yeah, he divot with a sand wedge there. All right, here comes Talley. He breaks one tackle, and he's out to the 38-yard line. Arkansas has 2 timeouts remaining, and the clock winding down to 2:30 to play in the game. Arkansas down a touchdown.
And Bob Stoops, no matter what decision he was going to make, bottom line is he had confidence in his defense. He didn't punt it. He was still trying to score points. I would have gone for it on 4th down. He went for points in a field goal. He's got confidence in his defense.
And now Jones on the quarterback keeper spins his way. Close to a first down, out to the 43-yard line. Clock continues to run. They'll stop it for a measurement, I believe, to see whether or not he was able to pick up the first down. Let's go downstairs to Brian Boldinger.
Yeah, Tom, I'm just watching it here from the backside of Oklahoma's defense. They've called off the blitzes. They're playing more protection right now. Should give Matt Jones more time back there to do something with the football.
Boy, the dreaded prevent defense mentality.
It is good enough for a first down. And the clock starts back up. Jones on the keeper. Crosses the 45, wrapped up there by Lehman.
You know, once again, Teddy Lehman, Rocky Calmus gets a lot of notoriety, and deservedly so, but Teddy Lehman in high school ran a 10,600 meters, former high school running back. Calmus and Teddy Lehman, the other linebacker, number 11 in the white, can fly. And both of them had played running back, so they have a mindset on what the running back's thinking. I think that helps them defensively.
Well, this is for sure the final game in Rocky Calmus's brilliant career. It may be the final game for Roy Williams.
I think it is. Roy Williams, if he comes out, he's the first safety drafted, and Roy Williams just makes plays. Tackle for loss, quarterback sacks. Then Rocky Calmus, the quickness with which he diagnoses and gets to the football is amazing. I mean, he has tremendous speed, and this guy takes perfect angles of pursuit. Both phenomenal athletes and deserving of their respective awards.
2 of the all-time great players in the storied tradition of Oklahoma football. 7 national championships, the 6th all-time winningest program in NCAA history. Of course, they had that remarkable 47-game winning streak back from 53 to 57 that began right here in a win over Texas on this very field.
Bud Wilkinson, legendary coach in those years.
Jones trying to get out of trouble, loses a ball. And Calmus appears to have recovered it. Lehman, who we spoke about a moment ago, stripped the football, and Calmus has recovered it for Oklahoma.
Although there's a fight going on for that ball right now, but Rocky's not going to give it up. I mean, Rocky Calmus says that's my football, and nobody's taking it away from me. But the 2 inside linebackers we talked about all game long. Lehman forces the fumble. Rocky Calmus recovers it. Rocky Calmus in last year's national championship game forced a big fumble against Florida State that led to Oklahoma's touchdown. And this time his compatriot forces the fumble and he recovers it. Great
how
play.
about this for your final play, perhaps, as a collegian at Oklahoma? Recover what might be a game-winning fumble.
Well, Lehman does a good job of staying after the ball, Tom. And what Matt Jones, the young quarterback, has to learn is ball security. You have to protect the football when you're running. In pocket, out of pocket. Bob Stoops says, men, you bailed me out again.
Griffin got back to the line of scrimmage in Arkansas with 1 timeout left, and they'll have to use it right now.
That was the very reason that Bob Stoops decided to kick a field goal, and why I was thinking about going for it on 4th down, because my defense is so outstanding. I feel like I can put the pressure on them. Look at Rocky Calmus's numbers today. 10 tackles, 2 behind the line of scrimmage, a sack, a fumble recovery, partridge in a pear tree. He's done it all.
And he is a Sooner born and bred, raised in Jenks, Oklahoma, was a high school defensive player of the year, leading Jenks to a 14-0 record and a 6A state title his senior year. elected to stay home at a time, bear in mind, when Oklahoma wasn't the Oklahoma they are now. They had the great years and then some lean years when Kalmus decided to come.
You're right, and Rocky Kalmus, I think, takes great pride in the fact that he was part of the solution to the problem and turned it around. You know, and decided to go there and say, I believe in the tradition of Oklahoma that you talk about, Bob Stoops. We want to win that 7th national championship, and he was a big reason that they did last year. This program does have tremendous tradition. And look at all the awards. And you know what? Once again, tradition for Oklahoma. He's the Butkus Award winner. And look at the finalists for all these others. And then his compatriot, Roy Williams, picks up 2 awards to Jim Thorpe and the Bronco Nagurski. First time the same school has had all 3 award winners. Another feather in the tradition cap at Oklahoma. False start, early start for Oklahoma. That'll cost them 5 yards there, Tom.
The producer of today's game is Jeff Gallen, and the director is Rich Russo. Our associate directors are Aaron Stoikoff and Jason Wormser, who celebrated a birthday a couple of days ago, so belated happy birthday.
Yes, sir.
Our broadcast associates, Eric Billingmeyer.
5-yard penalty remains, 2nd down.
And Kevin Dresser. Our technical producer is Pete Court. The senior producer of Fox Sports is Bill Brown. And the executive producers of Fox Sports are David Hill and Ed Gorn. And our thanks in the booth to Dave Lapham.
Yes, how about that?
Yes, indeed. I don't mean you, big
No, I know you don't. You mean the real Dave Lapham.
That's exactly right. Your fine son, our spotter today, and our statistician, Daddy Wags, Mark Wagner.
We're done.
Well, Arkansas cannot stop the clock. We're down to 1:30 left.
Houston Nutt once again has got a very, very solid football team that came back from adversity. A 1-3 start, 0-3 in the conference. After the Georgia loss, he brought the team together. He talked to the team. The seniors talked to the team. And behind his leadership, they rallied, and they rallied big time.
We'd also like to thank Gary Lynn for his work in the booth here today. And Quentin Griffin to the 35. We brought it up earlier, though. Houston Nutt really feels like he's a player here, a player there. The players themselves will tell you, those who are leaving. So, I mean, what have they had to gain out of it by telling you that they believe they're that close to contending for a national championship, although they're clearly going to have to start throwing the ball a little more.
Exactly. They have to have that balance, that offense balanced a little bit more than they have right now. But I think the reason everybody's so excited, he's had 2 excellent recruiting classes back-to-back. After they upset Texas in the Cotton Bowl, they had a great recruiting class, and a second one, 10 true freshmen that played for this football team. And the 19 extra practices they had getting ready for the Cotton Bowl will help them in their growth and maturation. This football team's on the rise. Buy stock in Arkansas.
19 seconds left. Oklahoma spending its 2nd timeout before this 4th down play. And the Oklahoma Sooners, boy, are they fired up looking ahead to next year. You take a look at their schedule as they're beginning to celebrate on the far sideline.
Yeah, they're in position and poised to make a run. I mean, you know, you talk about the Big 12. They don't have Nebraska on their schedule next year, but they do have Colorado, who's playing outstanding football. And they do have Texas right here in the Cotton Bowl. The Red River Battle takes place every single season. That's why Oklahoma has not played in the Cotton Bowl, but they play these guys, Texas, every year in this very Cotton Bowl. So they're very, very familiar with the confines of this stadium.
They'll step out of conference and take on Alabama, the 2nd game of the season next year. But Bob Stoops has plenty of reasons to be excited about this team next season.
No question about that, Tom. And Alabama under Dennis Franchione, he turns it around. He turned it around at TCU. He's going to turn it around at Alabama. They won their bowl game this year. They had a 6-5 regular season record and won their bowl. So they're on the uprise. But Bob Stoops has got his Sooners playing at a very, very high level. And you know what? The tradition lives on, and they pass the baton from one class to the next.
And you really got to give it up to this Oklahoma team. A lot of people felt like they didn't even want to be here.
Yeah, you're right.
After the national championship game of the season ago. All right, well, Well, we have a 4th down punt here by Ferguson. Not over yet.
Look who the personal protector is, Rocky Calmus.
And that one will roll down to the 2, down
Look
to
who
the
down
1.
Rocky Calmus. Rocky, he's everywhere.
How about that for your final 2 plays? Although we're going to have one more now with 9 seconds left. But the last 2 times Calmus has been on the field, he touched the ball. And that's a linebacker.
You're right. You're right. And how about, I mean, this is how Bob Stoops operates. Rocky Calmus, Roy Williams. Hey, I know you're award winners. You're playing special teams, though, guys. You're covering kickoffs. You're on my kickoff return team. You're on my punt team. He's got starters and high-caliber starters. Operating pretty well for him. There's Rocky Calmus right there. Rocky Calmus goes down and covers the punt.
Zach Clark fires in and out of the hands of Wilson on the far sideline. Arkansas has completed 2 passes in the entire game, and yet they're only down by 7 points.
Well, that speaks volumes for their defense and their kicking game. Both special teams for Houston Nutt and for Bobby Stoops have been outstanding. I mean, the kicking game has been a wash. The defenses have dominated, and Oklahoma's offense did just enough to win.
Clark going to just airmail it down the middle of the field, and 1 second remains at least on the clock. And apparently they're going to say it's over. So the defending national champion Oklahoma Sooners come to the SBC Cotton Bowl, and they come away with a 10-3 victory in the final game for Rocky Calmus and his unbelievable career at Oklahoma. And as you brought up earlier, you believe that Roy Williams, who is a junior, more than likely makes a decision to come out early.
I think he does. I think Roy Williams is going to be the first safety drafted. If he comes out, why risk injury? Now, that's the nature of the beast, unfortunately, in these days in college football.
Congratulations to both teams, and we'll be back with the trophy presentation to the winning coach, Bob Stoops, right after this. Oklahoma wins the SBC Cotton Bowl over Arkansas 10-3. Let's go downstairs for the trophy presentation. Here's Tim Green.
Thanks, Tommy. With me now, Forrest Miller, the president of SBC, for the championship trophy presentation. Forrest?
Great, thanks, Tim. Coach, terrific game, hard-fought battle, enjoyed it. What a tremendous day for your team. Very hard-fought game. Thanks to the Big 12 and the SEC again. And I'm going to, on behalf of SBC, present this trophy to Fred McClure, the chairman of the Cotton Bowl. And thanks for your chairmanship, Fred. It's been a terrific run, and you can do the honors.
Thank you, Forrest. Coach Stoops, University of Oklahoma Sooners, on behalf of the 66 SBC Cotton Bowl Classic, the Phil Scoville Trophy. Congratulations.
Thank you, Fred. Thank you. Let's hoist this up, boys. Get that to my boys here.
Coach, great effort today. Just talk about how proud you are of that defense.
Incredible defense. Just outstanding the entire day. Aggressive tackling was tremendous. Great pressure on the quarterback. Roy Williams, Rocky Calmus, you can't even start talking about him.
You've done such a great job returning the pride and the tradition to this Oklahoma program. Talk about what winning the Cotton Bowl means to that program.
It means a lot. Our pride's on the line every time we take the field. And we want to play hard, and we knew the entire country was going to be watching today to see what the defending national champs were going to do. And at least we came out and finished the year with a win. I can't thank everybody associated with the Cotton Bowl enough, because we've had a great week, and we love the battle here today, and we couldn't wait for it.
Coach, finally, your offense held up against a very tough Arkansas defense.
Sure, their defense played aggressive, had an entire month to prepare for us, but still, offensively, we did enough things to move the ball, score enough points to win.
Coach, congratulations again. Tommy, back up to you.
All right, Tim Green, thank you very much. And Roy Williams and Rocky Calmus go out with a bang here today.
Boy, did they live up to billing, Tommy, or what? Just an incredible performance by two guys that played well their entire careers.
For more information on today's game and for the latest information on college football, go to foxsports.com. For Tim Green, Dave Lapham, Brian Boldinger, and our entire crew, I'm Tom Brenneman saying thanks so much for being with us. You've been watching Fox Sports coverage of the SBC Cotton Bowl, where the defending national champion Oklahoma Sooners beat Arkansas 10-3. Happy New Year.